viewers?
What's up, viewers? Well, my microphone was off, so apologies. I got to back up and do the intro again. Sorry. We got to be able to have it on the video, and it wasn't coming across. Welcome back to session 15 of the Forbidden Lands, the Hanging Stones. We are joined by Velas, not Viridia, Ralgar, totally not a necromancer, Grunralk, Troll Slicer, and Vergello, Sad Singer. When last we left our heroes, they parlayed with a ghost child, angered a tribe of whiners, killed an orc prisoner, tried to get some books, and received the crown Stanengist, whose name means the Hanging Stones. They have just set out from the Vale of the Dead and are having a powwow in Dahlia's absence to discuss what to do next. Shout out to Sirenscape, who provide the background audio and music for our stream. And I apologize for the technical difficulties. I got a new mic and it wasn't set up with my recording software, so I was getting no audio for the first couple of minutes. And we are caught up.
Fantastic. What a recap.
Back to the whiskey.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. And
so now that we're alone, let me try the hat on.
Are you nuts?
Oh,
no.
I think you would look good with a hat. I want to see you wear a hat.
No.
I'll give you my hat for it.
It's not a tradesy situation. Look, this is like a world secret level. Like, we can't let anyone know that we have this. We can't talk about this outside of the four of us. And we need to talk about what we're going to do with it, because this is a pretty big deal to just about everyone on the continent.
Well, I know for a fact that those are Elven Heartstones, so...
Yeah, based on what Velas has told us, these are the first elves?
Well, it's believed that the Hanging Stones were comprised of the first 6 Heartstones, the Heartstones of the first 6 elves ever, though one of them wasn't actually... one of the Heartstones was not one of the original 6. She, busted her Heartstone, gave it out to other druids, which is like a war crime to do, by the way. I guess when you're the original, you get away with shit.
I honestly feel like holding on to this crown is also a war crime.
Yeah, probably.
Is there any way
sounds like we need to get rid of this crown. I do not want to be a part of of a war crime.
We're gonna circle back around to that route.
I like his style.
Current war crime is the most interesting thing, pressing thing at the moment.
I have an idea.
What is that?
The little one has an idea.
It's not a great idea, to him. But what if we yanked the Heartstones out? Because then it's just a useless crown, right? And we can give the Heartstones to the elves.
Elves? Why would the elves want the Heartstones? Could someone tell me, what is a Heartstone? I have never heard this word before.
So, basically, when an elf dies, we don't really die. We have the ability to come back, but it takes people who know how to do it. But our physical body, all of this just kind of goes away, and it leaves a Heartstone. And with that Heartstone can be used to bring you back. So we could actually use these to bring these back to regular people. Or a lot of elves have their Heartstones laid to rest in the still mist.
Wait, so are you telling me that we could make new elves from these stones?
You make new ones. You bring them.
So elves can come back from the dead. I like this very much.
They can.
I have another question. Do you have one of these inside of you?
I do. It's located right... No, I'm not showing you where. Yes,
Can
I have.
Listen to it? And I'm trying to can I hear anything coming from inside her?
Do you let him get that close?
I guess.
Okay.
Does it make your heart beat?
It doesn't sound like
I
a
do
mortal
not
heartbeat. It sounds more like a resonant thrumming that follows a rhythm somewhat like a heartbeat.
Oh, you
Like
have a
a
very nice sounding heart. I think I might be too close to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I back up a little bit, like forgetting that I'm not supposed to be
Social
doing
cues.
a little bit.
So it's okay. It's just how our hearts beat. Mine's not unusual to any other elf, just like yours. I imagine beats like any other.
Mine beats with the pride of my pack. But these stones do sound important. I am not sure we should be holding them.
Well, we
Josh,
certainly
does it
shouldn't
look
tell
like the
anyone.
stones can be easily removed from the crown?
They're securely fastened inside so that there's not danger of them easily rattling loose. But it looks like if you were to push them hard from behind, you could probably get them to pop loose.
So,
How fragile are heartstones, Velas?
They're very
I
they're very
mean,
resilient.
they're
If you
pretty
wanna tell
resilient.
the truth.
You could smash them with a hammer, which would be a war crime.
Not trying to commit war crimes. Just Grudrock makes a good point. If we show up with a heartstone or two, like that's a big deal. If we show up with like, you know,
Standing guest.
this, yeah,
Yeah, I'm also of the opinion that it would be best to break them up, the individual stones from the crown, and there's really no place better for them than the still mist.
The
you really trust
stillness.
the elven leaders to return them to the right place.
My trust does not fail with the elven leaders to put them in the still mist. My fear is that the Ints that guard the still mist will not do a good job, because it was said, legend, said that when Stan and Gist went missing, it was because Marigal stole it from the still mist, and he scattered everything so that it wouldn't all be in one place.
Well, there goes Plan B.
What was Plan B?
Give it to the creepy crow guy.
That
No,
was not a plan ever.
I don't think he's very trustworthy. What about the?
Do not
You won't let me wear it, so
What about
Was
the
wearing
guy?
it Plan A?
yeah.
What about the guy who rescued us from the slavers?
Kalman
Kalman.
Rodenfell.
Kalman. If he's still in
Lingmel.
he might have an idea.
But do we want to get close to any people while we have this thing? I mean, how obvious is it that we have this thing?
I mean, it's
Like,
not radiating
I'm
power.
not talking about it. Well, we are talking about it, but I'm not going to talk to any other people about it. But
I think
can elves find heartstones? Like, are we in risk of another elf being able to detect this thing?
no, not that I'm aware of. I mean, I didn't know it was there, and I was in the Vale with you guys. I didn't sense it. They look for it just like anybody else. So on that front, I think it's okay. But I do think that we should take the heartstones out of it, and each of us should take a heartstone, and one of us take the crown, and put them in our bags so that they're all separate. I don't think it should be put together.
I want the crown.
How many stones are there?
There are
3.
6 slots on the crown, and 3 contain beautiful, large, vibrant elven heart rubies.
I want the crown. I don't want the rocks.
Just don't wear the crown.
I won't.
Promise.
I promise.
I'll start divvying up the stones.
Okay, you remove the stones from the crown one by one.
Yeah.
All right, you do so. It's easy to get lost staring into the depths of the stones. They're beautiful and vibrant, and they seem to suck in your gaze as you look at them. They all shine with kind of an inner vibrant light. And one by one, you remove them. In the palm of your hand, they're massive. These are the largest gemstones you've ever seen. And one by one, you divvy them up. Tell me... I'm going to roll some dice here, but tell me who's getting a stone.
Grunrock's getting the crown.
Grunrock's
He
getting
asked
the
for a
crown, and Vergello. What?
Ralgar.
Is... I know, but what are you? Stop licking the Heartstone!
Oh, but I have never held anything like this before.
Grunrock gets the
It
crown, and
smells.
the other three of you
the
each
rest
get a
of us
stone.
have a Heartstone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ralgar, don't lose your opportunity to hold one. I swear to God, I'll take two.
Fine. I will protect it with my life.
It's... Vergello gets this, but these are important. You're talking about a stone that is probably over 1,000 years old. Like, beginning of times. Elves were here first.
Well, you did not have to make it personal. I understand. I will protect it. But I do. It smells like flowers and stone. It is nice. I like it.
Trust me, we both understand that the elves came first. That's all you guys talk about.
You do bring it up a lot.
Okay.
Well, maybe not you, but elves.
Dahlia walks up, having led the donkey to some nearby source of water. She
Crown
says,
in the backpack fast.
"What's going on?"
We were just talking about something that the giant troll told us in... Or not troll, the giant.
Giant.
Well, what did he tell you?
He told us that the Vale of the Dead is where Zertorm and Zygofer used to be with Martia. And I mean, they were there. They had a house. And he did all sorts of human experiments on people. One of them was still there. It was pretty terrible.
Yeah, we sort of set him free because he was really looking to die, and his ghost led us to his treasure, which was
A soup stone.
Soup stone. And I show her the little soup stone.
Fascinating.
I
She
smacked
looks
him
at
in the
that.
head with a cleaver, but I did not kill him.
Either Velas or Vergello, since you two did the most talking, can make a manipulate roll for her to not pick up on the fact that you are awkwardly trying to keep something from her. I mean, maybe not awkwardly if you succeed on a manipulate roll, but...
Can I just give him like an extra d6?
No. It's whoever did the most talking, and... Okay. You're good.
It's like
She
I was
seems
very much
transfixed.
Good. Do I need?
She seems
do I need to
transfixed
push
with
it?
the...
'Cause I'll push
no.
it.
She seems transfixed with the story about the soup stone.
No, don't push
And she
that.
doesn't inquire further. Right. So...
Where are we
for
going to go next?
destinations, do we want to one of us to sneak into Lingmel and see if old buddy's there?
I can try. I mean, not try. I'm pretty good at sneaking. But
Are you good at disguising yourself?
I am indeed.
Okay.
You don't remember when I looked
Why
like
do
Miss
we need
Pallamore?
to sneak into
Uh,
Lingmel?
To be honest, I was just stuck with grief since I lost my pet dragon.
That's fair. I did look like Miss I looked like Miss Pallamore right after diving into a lake. It was one of my best performances yet.
It's pretty simple to look like a wet dog when diving into a lake, but I do seem to recall.
Damn!
You should be careful what you say about dogs.
You're right. I apologize to
To dogs
your kind and
everywhere.
Dogs everywhere.
All right, to Lingmel.
Why do we need to sneak into Lingmel? Everybody knows me there. I have nothing to hide from them.
It's not them. If you recall, the three of us were on the run from a man in Amber's Peak, and just to be on the safe side, we're trying to get some kind of reward for our latest find, and don't really want to make it
I had forgotten.
Amber's Peak.
You did tell me you have bounties on your head. That's fun. That's like playing chase.
It is.
It actually is.
And
It's
we're
not. It's
not
not as much fun.
super great at it.
I mean, we haven't been caught
Speak
yet.
for yourself.
We have an elf who has a song written about her, and I'm sorry, but I'm not exactly easy to hide.
Ah, you are small though. You can get in and out of places that I could not.
All sorts of people read songs about me. We should not take this very specific one.
Everybody
Yeah,
note
so-
where you are on the map currently, and then I'm going to put us back to the exploration tab.
Are we
We
on?
are here.
You're in the hex
Okay.
containing the Veil of the Dead, and we'll start there. You're some distance from it because you've started walking and then paused a bit to get a drink of water for the donkey. But you're still in that hex because we haven't taken any morning actions yet. So I'm going to move us over.
If we stop to get a drink and your water's not full, you should fill your water to D12.
It is pouring rain, and it's pooling all over the place in the mountains. So
Make sure your water die is at D12.
yeah, everybody can refill their water die if they want to. You can find a small reservoir nearby where it's gathering in the rocky crags and dip your water skin.
Ah, the taste of rocks.
It does taste like rock water.
What does rock water taste like?
Like water with
Mineral
rocks
water.
in it.
The stuff you
Oh my
like to
God.
drink.
Like Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Sponsored by.
Sponsored by. This stream sponsored by.
Carbonated rock water.
Right.
Carbonated rock water.
Everybody place yourselves on the action of your choice.
I'm trying to sort out my character sheet has decided it does not want to move around. I'm gonna have to reload here.
Who would like to lead the way?
I guess that's
Rogar,
it. Me,
I think, has
right?
The
I'm
best, best survival.
I am the best survival.
We've got 2 hikers, a leader the wayer, and a keep watcher, and another hiker. All right, we hike. I am a hiker.
Oh.
I hike. Here we go.
Hey.
All right,
Adam.
refresh me. What do I roll for lead the way here?
One sec. We need to. You don't roll anything for it yet. We need to state what direction we are going. Are we backtracking along our previous path?
At least one tile, yes, and then we're gonna go to an unexplored one.
Okay.
Adam, change your name in Roll20.
Yeah, I'm. It's Struggleville over here right now.
No, sorry. I'm not trying to not trying to rush you, man.
Hey,
You just
Hey,
have
you
such
hurry up.
amazing art. I want to bring that to life.
Struggleville.
All right. I
Being
am.
sponsored by Struggleville.
Every time you move on the
Struggleville.
map, you must appoint a person to lead the way. This individual is called the Pathfinder. The Pathfinder can lead the way and hike at the same time. They cannot keep watch. Every time you enter a new hexagon. Let's see. This
It must be
is
survival.
it is survival. Okay, so I was checking if it was every hex or every quarter day because I couldn't remember. So every time you enter a new hex, we get that lead the way survival roll, modified by the Pathfinder talent if applicable.
A new hex is unexplored hex.
No, just whenever you enter a new hex.
Too
The
successful,
boy.
though.
I was ready to lead the way this time. I know which way we are going. Everybody, follow me.
very nice, very
I-
nice.
Wow.
Oh, look at that!
Juicy one.
No encounter. There was almost an encounter. There was a random encounter roll, but then the random encounter roll rolled no encounter.
Was it the hot armor babe? Did she move sexes?
It could happen. So, right. We are traveling through mountains. That takes an entire quarter day. I'm going to bump us back to exploration. It is now daytime. Are we keeping the same rolls and continuing on the map? Is anybody doing
Yep.
anything else?
We're gonna go northwest.
Northwest. Got it.
Up chaw.
Up cha.
Oh, we are going to avoid the hot army babe. I think that is a good idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Rust brothers and Rust sisters are not fun.
No Rust sisters. Raven.
All right.
They're all insane.
Let's get a lead the way.
That they are.
I'll lead the way roll. I can do that. It's
Come
just
on,
as soon as
buddy.
I figure out how Windows works. Shout out to
Nobody
Microsoft.
knows how Windows works.
Just delete your System 32.
Oh, I am leading the way very well tonight.
God damn.
You sure
man.
are. He's rolling hot, hot, hot. All right, one sec. I'm updating something on
This
the map.
upcoming combat though is not going to be very good.
Let's go!
Getting all these sixes. Right
I'm
out of the way.
excited. The law of averages means Adam should avoid the next fight.
The law of averages means I should roll nothing but sixes tonight.
That too.
All right. One sec. Oh, that's
Run,
the
Run.
wrong one.
Are you sure that you do not want to try that crown on? I
He
bet
does
it would
not.
look good on your head. And
Nah,
I'm
I like my
I'm
hat.
walking up next to you.
I like
Oh.
my hat.
If you decide to change your mind, I would like to try your hat on.
All right.
Okay.
Here's what's going on.
It's full of
Yarmulke.
it's full of mud and
It
grit
is.
and
Pyrite.
dirt and
You-
little pieces of fool's gold that have been dried onto it.
That hat's been through some stuff.
This is a very dirty hat. You can have back.
You are approaching the Mellowater River, farther north than you've ever been along it. And you realize that this is going to be a difficult barrier to pass, but as you are descending your way down out of the mountains into lower lying plains, you actually see that there is a bridge off in the distance across a broad valley, and that it looks like there are a few wood and stone buildings and some fenced-in pastures off in the distance. However, while that is still just little tiny buildings on the horizon, you're going to encounter something else first. One moment.
Didn't we have a keep watch?
Always.
Yeah, whoever has the keep watch has to roll it here.
I
Wow.
hate coughing.
Look at that big bridge. It looks like there is a village next to it. Maybe we
So
should
much
go and
for
find some food.
law of averages.
All right. You, based on that scouting roll, do not get advance information. You're going to stumble into a situation after it has largely played out. So one sec.
Sorry, guys.
Um,
An effort was made.
Effort is always made.
you are crossing the open plain when you see what appears to be the recent aftermath of a battle. There are 3 dead bodies lying out in an open field in pools of blood. Blood still freshly soaking into the earth. And you also see, plainly visible with no tracking rolls required, a trail of blood leading away from the scene into some tall grass nearby. And off in the distance you hear a...
You hear what?
We only caught the end of that noise.
Yeah, look up the end.
You hear a drawn out groan of as of someone in terrible pain.
I
I-
mean, I'll move over to try and.
I'm gonna
Find a
put my hand out to
thing.
stop you. Based off of what I see, can I insight it to see if we're being fucked with like the last time we were in this similar scenario?
Incite the sound of the voice.
Yeah. Well, I just or like
Scene.
the scene.
Sure.
I just remember I've been fucked with before,
Mm-hmm.
and now I've got even more precious cargo.
Help us! Help us! We're dying.
Nope, sure don't know. Even so, I'm gonna look at Vergello and be like, listen, I know you want to check this out, but we got somewhere to be right now.
I'll do it.
Please just go and check to see if it's a person.
Okay.
Come on, Grunrock, follow me.
Whoops.
I can stand up for myself. I'll do it.
Can
I
I
walk towards the grass.
at least hold your backpack while you're doing it?
No.
I am going to try and disappear into whatever grass trees there are.
Okay.
So
you're gonna
if
stealth.
this turns into a combat, I can try and get some sneak attack.
Sure. Sounds good.
Can I try and inspect the dead bodies while they're doing that and try to find some items?
I would like to push that roll.
I'm looking not for value. I'm looking for something I can take.
You will not
If
be
that's-
able to push that roll at this time because there's no one to spot you.
Okay, cool.
You are sneaking off in the grass, making more noise than you would like. The party, who's going to lead the approach?
I mean, I'm heading over there to try and heal the
I
guy.
run out in front of him with my stumpy little goblin feet.
All right.
I'm not going to run in front of him.
You...
I want to like pop my head through the grass to the person that's like bleeding out.
Yeah, that happens, and he is in terrible shape, bleeding out. It is a middle-aged man, in commoner's garb. He's dressed like maybe a farmer or a shepherd of some kind, and he is severely injured. He has open wounds on his torso in multiple places, and his hands are soaked in blood, and there's blood all over the ground around him. And he says, "They killed everyone! They killed everyone!" He looks like he's dying without healing intervention. You can decide.
Who's they?
Can I try and do healing while Grunrock interrogates him?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make your healing roll.
Is that something that I need to push or can push?
One success will stabilize his immediate wounds so that he is not bleeding to death, but he's still going to have a long, slow recovery and not be able to walk on his own. You are successfully stopping the bleeding. And he says, "Those bloody bandits, the bloody bandits that live up in the hills." And he gestures in kind of a northeasterly direction, and he says they've been harassing the town and attacking the townsfolk for weeks now, and that they just killed 3 of his good friends, and that and he says that he needs help to get back to Wellspring. He gestures toward the village across the river, way off in the distance in the plains, and says that he needs to get there to see his wife and to tell the leader of the town that the bandits are about and to call everybody back in.
Where are we relative to the village? Is the village like west of us?
It is on the map.
No, right. I know. I just mean like where we are with this guy. Like, is the village to the west?
It is to the northwest. It is across. There's a bridge on the river nearby, and then off beyond that in the plains is the village.
Okay.
It looks like the bridge is sort of associated with the village, but a little distance from it.
We're still in this hex with the like foothills.
You're on the
We
border
haven't
between the
crossed
hexes
bridge
because
yet.
you're
Like
near the
in
river,
between
yeah.
the two. Well, we're sort of heading in that direction, anyways. Let's.
I can carry him.
Can you?
I think so. He doesn't look too heavy.
All right, we gotta head that way, anyways, so we can bring you there. We won't be able to do much more for you other than drop you off, though.
Hold this. Don't drop it or lose it.
I'll hand him my scimitar and try to get the guy like fireman's carry on my shoulder.
Okay.
His forehead just like drags on the ground.
It's slow going, and it's very bumpy being carried by a goblin, but you'll get the job done.
Josh, I had a DM question for you.
Pretty sure I have the highest like strength of any party member. So
What's your strength?
DM Dungeon Master question or DM direct message question?
DM, check your messages.
Check your DMs. Okay.
It is 5, Aimee.
Hank, what's your carry weight?
Where is that at?
It's below your gear, like where you would roll food, water, arrows. It's at the bottom. It says carry and encumbrance.
Oh, 10.
I have 2 below you.
Oh, dang. Never mind. Vergello probably could have carried this guy pretty comfortably.
It's because I have the packer talent. It adds like, I think +2.
Well, we're putting the struggle on this dying gentleman because I didn't realize that.
I mean, my carry weight's 8.
We also have a donkey.
We do also have a donkey that we
Sir Archibald Truffles will not carry the dying. He is more noble.
But he's not dying.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So Sir Archibald Truffles wouldn't be carrying
will
the
not be
dying.
carrying the
He
dying.
would be carrying the living.
He could die. You don't know. I don't know.
wow.
You just don't want to set him down.
All while dragging the guy.
You realize that as you're picking the guy up and hauling him off, that Ralgar separated from the group and went over in the direction of the bodies, and he's now walking back towards the group.
Okay.
We'll wait for him to catch up. Or I'll wait for him to catch up.
All right. So, descriptions here. So, we're going to pass a couple of places on the way to the village, and I'm just going to give them broad descriptions because you'll see them from a short distance. So, on your side of the bridge, there are 2 separate buildings that you're going to see with a couple hundred feet between them. The first, there's a wooden building that looks relatively newly built. You've been enough places that you can recognize the difference between architecture that's been around for generations or architecture that's just been built since the Blood Mist broke, of which there's been a lot. This looks like a building that was built after the Blood Mist broke. It is situated between a broad dirt road leading towards the village and across the bridge and the river, with easy access to both via footpaths. So a fairly nice looking freestanding wooden building that looks relatively new. There's no smoke coming from the chimney, and you see no signs of people or animals around it. Then, a short distance away, there is one other exposed building, which is a small wooden shelter to the north of the main road. You can clearly see tools for shearing sheep and stacks of raw wool on the outside faces of the building and all over the front porch. It looks to be some sort of shepherd's shack. And nearby there are fenced-in grazing areas with no animals in them. Those are the structures that you see on this side of the bridge. Okay.
Do we see any people or any signs of combat?
No, it's actually surprisingly desolate everywhere. There are buildings here that look pretty well kept, but there are no people or animals. It looks like they've perhaps withdrawn towards the village because the place is a ghost town out here. Okay.
I want to walk up next to Vergello and just like in my quiet wolf voice, I'm trying to make sure that Hurt Boyo can't hear. But I just want to ask, I want to say, how do you know that these people will not turn us in?
I mean, it'd be pretty impressive if they faked the wound that I just healed just to capture us.
Oh, I do not mean as a trap. I just mean as a matter of circumstance, of opportunity.
Well, we're not staying. We're just dropping them off and moving through town.
Okay, I just am worried about you. But that sounds good. I trust you. Let's do this.
Grunrock, as you're carrying the guy, he's but he says, "I promise, little goblin, you'll be given a warm welcome for helping me. Thank you."
I don't know about that. Most people don't like little greenskins like me.
I do.
But, thanks, buddy. But it's okay. I'll bring you in anyway, and maybe they'll think that I'm not trying to kill you. There's a lot of blood on your clothes, so.
I'm actually going to upload this map as a handout because I haven't set up the map page for it in advance. But just so that you all can see the layout of the area, because a picture is worth 1,000 narrations. So give me one sec.
We're handing this guy off and we're leaving.
Mm-hmm.
We're not staying. We're not gonna accept their warm welcome. We're not gonna even take a reward. We did this for charity.
Mm-hmm.
No making friends. No playing.
No fetch.
No reward.
I do not play fetch.
There you go.
No, nobody. Trust me, that one was targeted.
This is the
Yeah,
map.
that was definitely...
This is the map of the immediate surroundings. So, you come upon a village here, and this place is interesting. The village of Wellspring gives a forbidding first impression. The houses are huddled together in a tight ring, and stone walls have been built about the height of an average man, from house to house around the perimeter of the town, like it was a pre-existing village, and then they fortified it by filling in all the gaps with stone walls. There are a handful of 3-story buildings which make for passable watchtowers at the north, south, east, and west corners of the town, and a single sturdy gate leading into the village proper with a broad dirt road leading to it.
And it's difficult that we have a task because this is getting all my curiosities going.
There are 2 heavyset guards standing at the top of the gate into the town. There's smoke curling from the chimneys, and a handful of children playing in the meadows immediately outside the village, as well as some villagers carrying dirty laundry towards the river currently who are passing you. And they stop.
Hello!
Yeah, I'd stop any of the villagers passing us to be like, yes, he's part of your village here. He needs help seeing the leader immediately.
They run over to him, they exclaim, "Sant!" which is his name, and they help carry him so that Grunrock doesn't have to shoulder the load solo, and they quickly help you drag him towards the main gates. The guards, without asking...
None of that. We let them take him, and we leave.
Thank you. Are you sure you don't want to come in and stay?
No.
I'm sure you would be well rewarded for your assistance.
We'll make our return here to see what we can...
We'll take you up on that in a couple
Future date.
days.
All right, watch yourselves, kind travelers. May I ask your names so that we may pass along word to our village elder that you've helped us this day?
My name's Longtoe. Give me my sword back.
Oh, that's getting written down.
Yeah, there you go. My name is Starin.
Elena.
And I wrote down URRRR. All right. Thank you so much. We can't thank you enough. And they will take him into the town and close the gates, and all the children come running in, and all the people going to do their laundry come running in.
All right, let's go.
All right. All right, backing us back out to the map.
Oh man, Josh spent like at least 30 minutes researching that town, coming up with the characters.
It was more than any 30 minutes, trust me.
No.
All he had to say to keep us there was that there was a hat store.
I spent more than 30 minutes on multiple different things, and this is one of those things. It's fine.
We definitely said, granted it was off stream, definitely said that we are rushing to Lingmel.
Yeah.
No stops on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got to tempt us. That's his job, and it kind of worked on me.
Yeah,
it's fine. There's a town here. You know there's a town here.
I will say you had to show us a map. We had to enter the outskirts of a town. That counts as exploring a new exploration site.
No, this counts as new hex, but not new adventure site.
How dare you?
How dare you?
The audacity!
You shared the picture and everything.
If
And we
I
all have
waste
new-
more
we
than
all have
30
new-
minutes, you don't get experience points. All
We
right.
all have new aliases now, so that's fun.
You all have a new alias.
All right, you have crossed into this hex and bypassed the town of Wellspring.
I'm gonna write that down because I'm gonna forget that name.
All right, Longtoe, you better not remember.
It's fine. All right, you make your way across the plains. What direction are you traveling from here?
Southwest.
All right. This is plains, so you can actually cover 2 hexes in a quarter day even without mounts. So you can carry right on with the same actions if you choose.
Yep.
Oh, you said southwest?
Oh yeah, southwest, not
Okay.
Yeah.
northwest.
Okay.
That should be
Towards
forward.
Lingmel.
I wondered how these things that looked very much like
I was gonna
trees
say,
were
it definitely
plains.
looks
Yeah, I
like a
know.
forest.
Hey! Don't let him take it back. He gave it to us.
He gave it to us.
Whoopsie daisy. There we go. Okay. So,
Hey, Josh.
evening. Yes.
Never mind. I'll ask you later.
Okay. Let me check on the pathfinding situation. There's no lead the way roll if it's a new hex, but there's still a chance of an encounter. Or if it's a hex you've been in before. You travel into the forest. It is now evening, so it's getting dark. You have no encounter. You're in the familiar territory of the Dankwood. Would you like to travel 1 more hex at night in order to arrive in Lingmel tonight? Or would you like to start setting up camp here to avoid having to travel in the dark?
Well, we're not trying to go into Lingmel to stay. So
We'll
maybe
I
set
have
up
travel to a
camp.
new
Question.
hex.
If you are trying to sneak into Lingmel, would you rather sneak at the night, or do you want to sneak in the day when it's easy to be seen?
I can disguise myself either way, but I appreciate you thinking of me.
I do
Oh,
understand.
of course, I do not know much about sneaking.
I do understand his logic, though. If we move forward, we do have a chance of seeing our companion there at the inn versus him leaving first thing in the morning.
That's fair. I mean, if that's what you guys think, we can do that.
If we're making a night march, let me keep watch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's go ahead and
Yeah.
march through.
One of the main downsides to traveling at night is that your keep watch rolls are going to take a penalty, but Grinrock gets to ignore them for being a goblin, so you get to bypass
I
some
can
of
see
that.
in the dark.
Yeah. So, okay, let's get 1 more encounter. No encounter. You make your way through. Yeah, nothing goes wrong. You make it to Lingmel, and it is nighttime. It's late at night when you get there. It's like 10 p.m., well after dark, and you trudge through the Dankwood in the dark for a substantial period of time to get there. And
Just to
you arrive.
clarify, we're not all entering Lingmel.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Only I am.
Sorry, I was
Yeah.
looking at nighttime rules while you were discussing what you want to do, so I missed it.
No, you're okay.
Right. You're all in the hex, and Velas is going in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right,
And
Velas.
I'm using. I'm going to use Path of the Face,
Okay.
which I can copy and paste. It costs a willpower, but I'm essentially assuming the identity of someone else.
Okay. You spend
So
the
that's-
willpower, and who are you taking on the appearance of?
Just a random villager that I saw in just a random villager that I saw in Amber's Peak or the Hollows.
Okay, you're just
No,
trying to look
nope.
like a nondescript commoner.
Mm-hmm.
Your master's disguise, rank 1 by spending willpower point, and preparing for a moment. You can assume the appearance of another person, but not their voice or demeanor. Person must be the same. Okay, to somebody that doesn't know the person, if you're just impersonating a typical villager from another town, then yeah, if anybody examines you closely, they'll notice it's a disguise, but you'll pass for to the casual eye, you will pass for just a stranger from another town without further suspicion. And Lingmel is a trade stop. It is unusual for someone to show up late at night. However, they are very welcoming of people from elsewhere because it's a trade station. So, yeah, you approach Lingmel from a direction that nobody approaches Lingmel from, which is the northeast forest. You can loop around the long way if you want to be less suspicious. Most people come in and out of the town through the river because the Dankwood is so hard to navigate. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna be walking up. I'll loop around more towards like a less like suspicious route.
Sure.
Like before I leave, I'll look at him and be like, "I'll be right back."
One of the elven guards who you recognize is going to say, "Oh there, traveler.
Hi, how's it going?
Welcome to Greenstop. How far have you traveled this day?"
Today feels like forever. I'm hoping to get some shelter inside, maybe make a little trade, and praying to the gods to see my friend.
What's your business?
Just vacation, visiting, perhaps a little bit of trade. Like I said, I really just want to see my friend.
Who's your friend?
His name is Ayan. He's a half-elf.
Oh, you're a friend of Ayan's. Yeah, come on in. Come on in. We'll get you all warm and dried up.
Oh, thank you.
Not sure he's in town, but
Well,
we'll bring
one
in.
can hope.
All right.
Thank you.
They let you into the town. You're walking through the familiar streets of Greenstop. You see
somewhat familiar streets of Greenstop.
Yeah, you see the tavern is lit up and bustling with people. People are walking about the streets. It's not a particularly dangerous town. And where are you headed?
I'm going to the tavern that I last saw Kalman.
Okay. This is going to be just a genuine die roll here. Roll a d6. 4 plus, he's here. 1 through 3, he's gone off on another mission.
He's here!
He's here. He's in the tavern.
Oh my god! Huzzah!
Huzzah. You walk into the tavern and he's there.
That was such a nerdy thing to say, but it was so genuine.
Uh-huh. All right. Let's see. This is the Roaring Goblet, where works a mediocre bard named Vestin. The barkeep is a lovely young lady named Lilac, and they are known for their fiery spiced wine. And Kalman Rodenfell is sitting in a corner, not drinking, watching the clientele in creepy, stern fashion. You wonder why he comes to the tavern at all, since he just sits there sternly giving people judging looks.
I know why. He likes the people watching.
You do see that he watches you enter with his eyes, but does not turn his head because he's well versed in observing without drawing attention.
Oh, fancy. I'm gonna walk over, kind of like do a quick nod to him. Take a quick glance at the board posting to see if there are any wanted posters. Just,
There's no new ones.
Perfect. I'll walk over and have a seat next to Kalman. Hello.
Have we met?
I'll just turn and look at him. Oh, more than once.
Okay, since you can't disguise your voice, only your appearance, he's going to look twice at you, thinking that your voice slightly mismatches your appearance, and he peers at you for a moment and says, "Falas."
Hello, Kalman.
That's an impressive disguise you have. What brings you back? Did you seek the Veil of the Dead?
I did, and I found it.
You found it? And what was there?
So much. So much I want to tell you about. But I'm not sure that this is the greatest place. Do you remember when I saw you at the Wolf's Belly Inn?
Yes. When I saved your life?
Yes, when you saved the lives of my comrades.
And you?
That's neither here nor there, as I did not have a plate in front of me.
I'm laughing. He's not laughing. He's...
I was like...
Kalman
still
Rodenfell has no sense of humor.
You told me about a bit of treasure. Do you remember what it was?
I told you about Stanengist, and we spoke of the first elves.
Do you remember what I told you about it?
Oh, you said you were going to go out and seek the lost Heartstones.
Hey, Kalman.
Yes?
I think that you should come and meet me and my friends outside. I think you'll be very excited to see what I have. I'm going to get up and walk out.
His heart is racing faster than it has in a very long time, but he doesn't show it in his face at all. He's a still elf with a statue-like face and does not show much expression. But he does stand up quickly, reach into his pocket, throw some coins on the table without counting them, and look suspiciously side to side across the room to make sure there's no foul play afoot. And then he slowly makes his way outside with one hand resting firmly on the hilt of his longsword.
I'm just going to wait till he's outside with me. I'm going to wait outside until he catches up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to start making my way towards an exit that's not the place where I entered.
Okay.
And as we're walking, it's rainy, so there's probably not that many people, right?
Yeah. The streets are pretty quiet. It's easy to find an isolated place to have a conversation if you want.
I mean, I'd like to walk and talk to get back to my friends.
Okay, you're going to lead him out of town?
Mm-hmm. I think you'll follow. You sent me in the direction of a new ally who took me to the Vale of the Dead. Who would have thought that buried in the Vale of the Dead, something many before me have been looking for, but not all of it. And when we're outside of town, walking towards the friends, that's when I'll look at him, and I'll stop for just a second, and I'll pull off my backpack, and I'll pull out my Heartstone.
His eyes widen when he looks at it. He immediately recognizes that this is a Heartstone of legend, because it's larger and more vibrant than the others, and he's an expert in Elven Heartstones. He looks dumbfounded.
Put it back in my backpack.
How?
Scrome, of all people, was watching it.
Wait, who? May I see it again? Whose Heartstone is that?
Can I look at it and see whose it is? Is it? I know it's not inscribed. Is that like an insight roll?
He extends a hand.
Hand it to him.
He clutches it in his hand, goes into a meditative stance, and his eyes roll back in his head. And he says, "I'm going to
summon the Phantom Dagger and just like keep and watch."
Rain is pouring down on you. And he falls to his knees, and you can tell that he is weeping, despite his stony demeanor and the rain pouring down over his face. And under his breath he mutters, "Gamelda, it's you. It's been so many years. How could this have happened?" And then he stands up, takes a deep breath, opens his eyes, looks at you, and then hands the stone back.
Gamelda?
This is the first elf who ever set foot in the Ravenlands. Gamelda, the eldest and wisest.
I don't know how. I haven't had an opportunity. I haven't seen anyone since we discovered the Heartstones. I'm gonna put it back in my backpack and seal it and put it back on. We've got 2 more. And the crown itself, it was a set of 3, and I don't know who had assembled them together.
Who has
But
the
it was-
crown?
Grunrock is holding it.
Please tell me they're close.
Yeah, we're walking
The
again.
goblin has the crown?
Well, yeah, it's
Are
it's
you-
just a piece of gold.
Can I see them coming?
Yeah. You left the crown. All right.
It's we split it up amongst the four of us. The four of us are the ones who found it.
He's walking with his sword half drawn out of its sheath and is marching steadily towards Grunralk. And he says, "Hand it over! Hand it over!"
Hey, buddy. No
Tell
need
me.
to get touchy.
He shoves you backwards. This is your last warning.
I'm gonna get in between Kalman and Grunrock and be like, hey, we found it.
You
Look,
left
stop being
it
so
with
pushy
a
with-
goblin.
Hey,
The goblin
Listen.
helped me find it.
I can speak for myself, Velas. I'm holding the crown because I don't give a damn about your rocks. I don't want this thing. I just don't want anyone else to have it. And I'll cut off the hand of anyone who tries to take it from me.
That might be necessary. He still has his sword half drawn.
Kalman, knock it off.
Where are the other stones?
I have one. Ralgar has one. And Velas has one. And we came in search of you to return them because we didn't trust really anyone else. And you're really starting to make that trust kind of wane as aggressive as you've come towards us. So maybe we just sheath our weapons and have like a proper conversation about the next steps, because as much as we would love some reward money and we would really love something here in the future, we wanted these to go to the right person more than we wanted them to go to the most rich.
He takes a deep breath, sheathes his sword, and says, "I have sought these stones for hundreds of years. I thought they were lost forever."
I'll put the scimitar on the ground so it's out of my hands, and I'll pull out the crown.
His eyes go wide. He observes its beauty and its masterful craftsmanship.
It's safe. I know it's important, but it means almost nothing to me personally.
He mutters under his breath, "The hanging stones. You really found it."
I'm pretty sure I told you that I would. Did I not? Come on, Kalman. I found the dagger. Did you really think I wouldn't find Standingis?
Where do we go from here?
Well, it needs to be kept safe and protected. This cannot fall into the wrong hands. And someone should speak with the spirits inside of these stones to find out what they know. I recommend that we bring it to Mistwall, but we must make sure that we present it carefully so that there is not dissent as to its handling.
Well, that's another reason I kind of wanted to talk to you. I mean, if the legends are right, Marigold stole Standingist out of the Stillmist. Who's to say he doesn't do it again? I'm not trying to presume that I can take care of it. I can find it, but holding on to it's very different. It's not exactly going to disappear into my hand like the dagger. I don't know what to do with this.
Does Marigold know where it is?
Not as far as I know.
We haven't
Didn't
seen
come
him
get
yet,
it.
but he does have a tendency to follow us.
I would say that it's always safe to assume that he knows. That way he doesn't surprise you. But it's
Not to
also safe to
mention-
say that he probably has someone on the inside
Of everywhere.
of everywhere. And as soon as you go in, word abuzz, he will find out he'll be there.
He's going to
And
walk.
we have reason to believe that he's partnering with Zygofer for some reason.
Well, that's up in the air. We haven't had a chance to talk to him and to hear his side.
I'm not condemning him. I'm just saying they were in the same place together for an extended period of time.
I have met Marigold on more than one occasion, And I do not believe he has any connection with Zygofer.
Well, you didn't see him all buddy-buddy in Amber's Peak. But...
Zertorm.
Zertorm? What about Zertorm?
Zertorm is in Amber's Peak, not Zygofer.
Zygofer is in Amber's Peak. Are you not listening to the words coming out of my life? Out of my mouth.
Zertorm is the name of the leader of Amber's Peak, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, but Zygofer is the one that we believe that he
Okay,
is.
I'm just clarifying. Yeah.
Sorry,
That's fine, that's fine.
No.
I just wanted to make sure that you weren't mixing up the names. If you know what you're talking about, then yeah, that's fine. He says Zygofer is in Amber's Peak. He's shocked to hear it.
We think he's masquerading as Zertorm.
Interesting. He says, I think we should go back to Mistwall with the crown, presented very carefully. He walks over to Ralgar, hand on the hilt of his sword, and he kneels down a little bit so that he's eye level with you. This is an elf, and his face is gray with deep wrinkles, which is very unusual for an elf because they tend to look youthful forever. He has almost no expression and deep grayish colored eyes, and he gazes into your eyes. And he says, and what motive has this little wolfkin for joining us,
Their goals align with my goals, and I will follow them, and I will protect them.
And what are your goals?
Those are mine to know. But believe me, my goals will not hurt anyone here.
Just let it be known that I have sought this crown for hundreds of years, and if you set even one paw out of line, I will cut it off. Is that well understood?
Threaten me again, and I will feast on the blood from your throat, or potentially, I could add another Hearthstone to my growing collection.
He pulls his sword. He pulls his sword and points it at you, and he says, what was that?
I'm gonna walk over again. Whatever! Stop! I'm gonna turn to Kalman. Like, Kalman! Stop picking fights with people!
Yeah, we get that you've been looking for this for a while, but I think the thing you mean to say is, thank you, party of adventurers, for finding the stones and the crown and seeking me out to make sure they go to a safe place.
If anything, it's a return on investment.
We could have gone to the highest bidder to sell them, or any of us could have thrown the crown on with the stones to see what would happen. But none of that was done. It was all split up. We safely sought you out. So try a thank you instead of I will cut your hand off if you mess up. That's where we should go.
He's going to walk up to Vergello and say, all I am telling you is to watch whom you trust, because I am not one to speak rumors that have not been verified. But I assure you that I will now be seeking to verify certain rumors. And he turns and looks at Ralgar, and then he turns back to you, and he says, I will say no more now, because words cannot be taken back once they are uttered. But watch who you trust.
Neither can a sword to the gut, so maybe put that away.
Also, Dahlia's trying to sleep, Kalman. Jeez.
And you're stressing out Sir Archibald Truffle.
Let's head for Mistwall.
And you smell bad.
And you smell bad.
Actually, we gotta sleep, big dog. We've been traveling all day.
We sort of came straight to you.
All right. Set up camp out here?
Yeah.
Kalman, how did you do that? When you out the Hearthstone.
You elves make the weirdest noises sometimes.
He says, I have handled hundreds of Hearthstones in my life. And once you know how to listen, you can hear their whispers. They are still alive. And they are still aware. All you need to do is open yourself up and listen.
Should we find out who the other two are.
Yes.
He would love to while somebody sets up camp.
Yeah, someone set up camp, not me. Ralgar, can I hold your heartstone? Just for a minute?
It is not my Hearthstone. You can have it anytime you want to.
Thank you, Ralgar.
Oh,
And
but don't tell him I said that. I don't like that man.
I know. He's an elf and elves are assholes. But I promise he's the least asshole
Chop, chop, chop.
of them all. We're going to Mist
I
Wall.
I sneeze a little bit when you say that. I really like that.
We're going to Mist Wall, which is a place full of assholes.
Sounds
Many.
like a party, and I like parties.
Well, just don't pick a fight. Please. I'm going to take the Hearthstone and I'm going to sit down while whoever makes up camp, and I'm just going to stare at it and close my eyes and try and listen to see if I can figure out who it is.
You make camp. You took which Hearthstone? You took the one that Ralgar had? Okay. Sure. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do the camp rolls. That'll be survival roll. You get a +1 die because Dahlia's helping. Who's doing the camp roll?
Up to help make camp.
Oh, I will do it.
Okay.
Everybody who helps can provide an extra die.
Vergella, what you doing?
I'm gonna see if I can also listen to a stone.
Okay. So Vergello is listening to
half-blood.
the other stone.
Yeah.
With one of his ears. Only
I'm
half
gonna
of
my
them.
most pointy ear.
One ear's a little pointier than the other. It's okay. It's a half elf thing.
I could only understand about half what they were saying.
You make camp. No encounters. You set up camp. And Velas and Vergello are each listening to one of the stones. Velas, make a raw empathy roll.
Oh, no! No! That's 2 dice!
Vergello, do the same.
No.
These can be pushed if you
No.
want.
I'm just gonna have to click. What is
You
this?
click it and then you click roll at the bottom. So like if you
Oh.
click empathy up at the top and then click roll.
Gotcha. I got one.
That sound. All right.
Do I need to push it to hear more?
No.
Okay. I
Vergello.
only rolled 2 dice, Josh. I was not expecting to get it.
I am gonna push it.
Easy push.
Push it.
You lose an empathy. The stone won't talk to you.
Fine, I got a willpower.
Yep. All right. Vergello spends the night frustratingly trying to get the stone to react, holding it in his hands, listening to it, moving it around, staring into its depths, and is unable to get anything to happen. Velas has a similar experience for a period of time, and then something about your state of mind, your focus, your emotions, the world around you fades away for a moment. The sound of rain fades away to total silence, and you are in a black void, listening to a voice that is beautiful, that you have never heard before. It is a woman's voice, and it says, "Who are you?"
My name is Velas, Phil. Who are you?
"I am Nayad, who gathers waters. I set the rivers on their course. I seeded the first forests of the Ravenlands. I convened with the goddess Flo to make the earth fertile so that all life may thrive in these lands. How did you find my stone?"
I helped the giant Scrome. something of his was stolen, a crumhorn. And he offered a reward, not realizing what he had. I had been in search for your Heartstone. But to actually have it is wild.
Scrome still lives.
That he does. He is old as, well, I don't have to tell you, but still kind and fierce. Funny.
Why did you separate me from my siblings?
From your siblings? In the Stanengis?
Their voices have gone silent.
You could hear each other inside the crown?
Of course. We've been together for centuries.
I apologize. Your Heartstones were put together to create a very powerful weapon. And my friends and I were afraid that someone might use the weapon to undo all of the good that you have done.
I was there when the crown was forged. It is not a weapon. It is a tool for sharing wisdom and knowledge and magic.
And while that seems a great plan, and I don't want to speak ill of its original intent, evil people live, and evil people do evil things. Like Zygofer. People make selfish decisions, and I didn't want anyone to get hurt.
Where are you taking me?
Well, the plan right now is Mistwall. I'm going to be completely candid. I didn't think I'd be able to hear you. But since I can, do you want to be placed in the Still Mist, or would you like to be brought back? Because I think it would be pretty awesome if you were brought back.
The days of taking the form of flesh are long behind me, but I would like to see my siblings reunited, and I will aid anyone who seeks to bring peace to these lands, and I warn you now. There is a darkness in your heart. There is a battle inside you, and you should watch carefully how you allow yourself to feel and act, lest you end up like one of my sisters. That is all I will say.
Wait, please.
Goodbye.
I have walked
The voice
over
fades into
to
a dark
Velocity
void.
At this point,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like sniffing around her, like,
I'm holding the Heartstone and also like a bucket of water to my chest.
I get to the point where like my snout is right to like in her ear.
I'm just gonna
Sniffing.
open my eyes. Ah, Roger! God,
Guys,
Jesus!
sorry. You looked like you were sleeping, but you were not sleeping. What happened to you?
I heard the stone.
Where? I did not
heard-
hear anything.
Her name was Naid? What was it, Josh?
A smile
Naid?
crosses Kalman's face. It's the first time a smile has crossed his face.
Did I say it right? How do I spell
Naid,
that?
yeah. It's Neyd. And Kalman is going to... A grin will cross his stony face, and he will say, Naid who gathers waters. He says,
Seated
look at the
in her
forest
forest.
around you. This place owes itself to Naid. On behalf of the goddess Clay and the goddess Flo, she grew the first forests and set the rivers on their course. The very reason that the winds blow and the rains fall and the forests rise is because of her. It is why these lands thrive. It is why they support life. And it is to her that we owe the existence of this very forest.
I look at him and I go, wait, you mean that stone is that elf that you are talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I like the forest. It is my favorite place to be. I think I would like Naid. Do you think she could be friends with us?
Maybe. but I think we should head to Mistwall before we meddle further with her.
I just kept getting a busy signal with mine.
Boop, boop.
We're
Boop,
sorry.
boop.
The number you have dialed has been disconnected. Oh no!
The elf you have... Yeah.
Velas, did she tell you what we should do with her stone?
I'm just gonna kind of grip my fists. She doesn't want body anymore.
Oh, well, that sounds very sad. If I could bring back someone that I had lost, I would want to bring them back. Why does she not want to come back?
Some elves believe that you know when your time has come.
Hot take.
I think that it's selfish and foolish and a waste of eternity. But that's just one elf's take.
Mm-hmm. And my ears just kind of like go down a little bit, and I just kind of like go back towards the camp.
We camp.
I'm keeping watch.
All right. There's no encounter.
Because it's dark.
Yeah. Camp is made. Watch is kept. Vergello... Oh, did you move yourself to sleep? Because you were trying to convene with the stone that quarter day, right?
Yeah, so it's the next quarter day
It
now, right?
is now morning. We're shifted back a bit, so everybody has to sleep in the morning if they want to get sleep.
Yeah, that's why I'm moving to sleep.
All right. Everybody put yourselves where you want to be for morning. Roll for food and water. Except it's been pouring rain on you, so water's kind of a non-issue.
I need to sleep, but I don't know. Ooh. I got it. I'm good.
Sleep.
I'll sleep.
Keep watch.
I'm good.
Ah!
I will. I'll sleep in the saddle or something.
All right. Grunral keeps watch. Everybody else sleeps. And wait, is Grunral sleeping this in the morning or keeping watch?
No, I'm gonna keep watch. I'm
watch
gonna forego sleep for now.
Okay. You're fatigued if it comes up.
Yep.
All right. Everybody sleeps. Night passes uneventfully. You're in the Dankwood. Nothing bad happens to you, and it is now daytime. Move us back to the map. Where do you want to go?
Explore a new hex. Explore a new hex.
Well, we're heading to Mistwall.
I thought we were heading.
You're headed to Mistwall, and you have no unexplored hexes adjacent to the one that you're in.
Yeah, let's just go north and then northwest.
Here.
Okay. For the record, these darker hexes over here count as deep forest, and the lighter hexes count as regular forest, so it's actually easier to travel, and we'll have a different encounter table if you're in these lighter colored hexes on the edge of the forest. Just be aware that the darkness matters, because it changes the travel rate and the tables you roll on, so...
Just remember, darkness matters.
Just remember, darkness matters.
Just remember, it's always darkest before the dawn.
Right.
I am going to ride Sir Archibald, if
Okay.
that is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to ask Vergello if... Can I try and convene with the Hearthstone while I'm on Sir Archibald?
Yeah, you can.
May I hold your stone?
Yeah,
Vergello?
sure. I discus it to her.
Make that empathy roll.
Do I get an extra d6 because I'm well-versed in doing this now?
You never have to roll for Nayad again.
Ah. But I have to roll for whoever this is.
You have to connect with them, and then you can speak.
On an empathetic level.
Checking my DMs because a bunch of people have DM'd me. Give me one sec.
Ooh,
Bill, can we push it?
Yeah, we can push this.
Okay.
Josh said we could before.
Yeah, you can.
Ugh!
You lose an empathy. You take an empathy damage, gain a willpower, and you no longer. Yeah, you don't succeed in convening with a stone. This one doesn't seem to want to talk to you. And yeah, you are on your way. I'm checking the terrain types to see if forest is 1 or 2 hexes, depending on whether it's difficult.
1.
It's 1.
Okay. So, yeah, this quarter day, you travel into an explored hex. No encounter. Next quarter day, which is evening, which counts as dark. You can travel another hex if you want. If you do two quarter days of dark travel, you can get to Mistwall tonight, or you can set up camp. It's up to you. But do you push on another quarter day in the dark, or do you set up camp?
What does Kalman think about getting there?
He would like to get there as quickly as possible, but if you all want to rest, he's one of 6 people. So
Can
outvote
Grunrock
him.
sleep? Can Grunrock rest in the saddle of Sir Archibald?
You can't rest while
get rid of
traveling.
fatigue?
If you move hexes, nobody gets to rest.
But Sir Archibald's moving hexes.
Yeah. You try sleeping on a donkey.
I would love to.
It's up to Grunrock because he's the one who's fatigued.
I got it. I've done much worse.
He's nodding. If a fight breaks out, he's going to be a bit weakened because he's fatigued.
Let me tell you about the 7-day run from the Shroud to Lingmel.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
Let's.
This sounds like a
I'm
great story.
gonna hand Vergello's Heartstone to Kalman and ask him.
No,
if he
give it
can tell
back to
who
me.
it
It's
is.
my Hearthstone.
Oh, I will.
All right, you get another
I
quarter
wanna
day to
try-
try to convene with it. Go ahead.
I wanted to try and convene with it
Oh,
on
you
the
want to try and
pedal.
convene with
Yeah,
it again?
go ahead.
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
can I like switcheroo and give you nated?
No. Give me mine back. Give me the saddle.
There's no encounters.
Saddle.
There's no encounters all the way to Mistwall. You're gonna get there close to midnight, with Grundrock just absolutely exhausted. Do you want to push it?
Yeah, of course I am.
Of course you want to push it.
Hell yeah! Who
I
is
actually
it?
didn't
Bill?
want to succeed. I just wanted more skulls.
I know you do. Unfortunately, you succeeded. Sorry, Bill.
Oh, what's that? Sorry, I can't hear you. We're breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Kalman, didn't work.
Okay. A voice. You fade away into a dark void. You're bumping along on the horse, and you hear a deep, masculine voice. Who are you?
My name's Vergello. I've been trying to connect with your Heartstone. To whom do I have the pleasure?
You are Elven Spring. Interesting. My name is Nebulos, the craftsman. Tell
Very
me,
nice to meet you.
where are my siblings? They have gone silent. I've not heard them for some days.
They are all with us. We are returning to Mistwall with the crown and the other 2 stones. Your siblings, I presume.
Home, he says. You know, I created the still mist.
That's very impressive. I've made my own lyre before. It's not the one I currently have, but I tuned my own instrument.
A spirit for craft is worthy of respect. You honor me with your presence, Vergello. Do you seek
Why?
my wisdom?
I'm always happy to learn more. Do you have any tips and tricks? I've broken my fishing net before, and probably might have to repair an instrument or 2. And if you're a fantastic craftsman, as I imagine you are, you probably know a thing or 2.
I know a thing or 2 about making a fishing net, but I'm afraid it is just not important enough.
Well, the importance of knowledge is always relative. A king probably cares less about a fishing net, but it is the livelihood of a fisherman.
You are wise, Vergello. Tell me, have you been to the Still Mist?
I have not.
Will you tell me the present year?
Sure.
Tell the
Bill
present
doesn't know. I imagine Vergello does.
Yeah, one sec.
Bill doesn't even know what year it is in real life.
The
so-
DM doesn't even remember. Hold on.
It's 6.
6. Yeah, it's the year 6. The present year is 1165.
It's 1165, I believe.
So many centuries. All right. Tell me one more thing.
Sure. For the fishing net fixing repair information.
I will consider helping you to craft the ultimate fishing net. But tell me, where was the crown when you found it?
In a place known as the Vale of the Dead. It was on watch by Strom the giant.
Scrome still lives after all these years. I know the Vale of the Dead, and I know Scrome.
Yeah. He did you make his crumhorn? He was desperate for that. We found it for him. It was stolen by a couple of whiners, and
I don't know what that means. Listen, my sister assigned Scrome to guard the Vale of the Dead out of mercy, to give him a sense of purpose.
Oh, he loves it. He plays with this one little kid ghost. They have a great time. He was playing hopscotch, shook the whole valley.
It warms my heart to know that he is still there after all these years. Thank you, Vagello. I hope that we may speak again. Please take me to Mistwall that I may learn of all that has happened in the time that I have slumbered. I hope that things are well in the Ravenlands and that they are peaceful and prosperous.
I hope for the same, and for the best fishing net in the world. I'll talk to you later. And then I'll just disconnect.
TTYL, BB.
Heart emoji, elven ear emoji.
Elven ear emoji. Hashtag ancient elf. All right.
I'm walking next to Vergella with one paw on his shoulder, just keeping him up on the donkey.
You can hear his half of all these conversations while he's in a trance talking to the stone.
I imagine probably both the elves in the party are like, why is he asking about a fishing net?
You are awake. Are you going to build a fishing net? I heard you talking about a fishing net, and I like to eat fish.
He said that he would teach me how to make the best fishing net. It's an IOU, but I imagine it's kind of hard to describe such a thing. Best craftsman, though. I mean, he sounded like he knew his stuff. Like, pretty confident in his ability. Said he made the still mist or something.
Wow. I like both of these elves. I hope we get to be friends with them. Are you going to keep riding on that donkey, or do I get to have a turn now?
If you'd like to hop on Sir Archibald, I think that's fine.
Kalman is beside himself, which is to say that he's cracking a slight grin. And he says, Gemelda, Neid, and Nebulos returned home after all these centuries. Incredible work.
Kalman, was Viridia one of the original 6?
Yes. One of the spots, he points at the, whoever's carrying the crown, he points at their bag. He says, one of those spots awaits the return of Viridia's green stone.
And you have no idea why it was green, instead of red like everyone else's.
I know, but let's discuss it in Mistwall, shall we? And he gestures, and off in the distance, you can see the outlines of beautiful elven architecture. You have arrived.
Before we enter the city and return everything to where they rightfully belong, I have a question, Kalman.
Yes?
You drawing your sword on me leads me to believe that the crown is almost as powerful, if not more so, than the stones themselves. Is this something that we should be leaving behind? Can we trust this to be safe? I mean, I know that part of the reason we separated it is if one of us got taken, we wouldn't be holding the whole thing. We want it to be safe because we don't know what it's capable of.
To be honest, it's music. To be honest, I do not know. I'd like to give a shout out to Sirenscape for breaking the mood. And I want you to know, Sirenscape, that I'm going to give you more money to get other sound sets that are less distracting. So well played.
Having the worst constipation nearby.
Oh. Yeah. Fine.
I was trying to be so serious.
I know. Hold on.
Stop.
Here we go.
And
Back in it. No, Grunneralk asked the question. Kalman says, to be honest, I don't know what the crown's powers are. I know the purpose of its creation, which was that the sky-fallen elves of old could have a place to rest and retire, where they could be worn by the rulers of the land and advise them and provide their wisdom and provide their power, and that it was said that whoever wore the crown, when it was faceted with all 6 of the elven heartstones of old, would have the power to rule over these lands with wisdom and to bring about peace and justice for all. And that is all that I know. It has been lost for centuries.
That to me sounds like absolute power. And I'm not quite sure one person should have that.
I have a question to follow that up. Because I can be smart as well. And okay. Let's say that I were to put that crown. I am not going to. But let's say that I put that crown on. Would I get the power just for wearing it? Or do those heartstones have to choose to give me their power?
You will never wear the crown.
I already said that. That is not the question.
He makes a good point, though, Kalman.
You are probably the only person that could answer that question for us.
If it falls into the wrong hands and that person happens to put it on.
Do they get the power, or do those stones get to choose who gets the power?
I do not know.
I know one way to figure it out.
Oh, we should put it on the goblet.
No.
No.
I don't want to wear it.
One of the stones.
Or I could try it on.
There we go. That's better music.
I thought Josh was saying they were getting you.
I was like, damn, that is like full support from the DM. I don't know if to be
You
excited or
solved the
afraid.
Forbidden Land.
GG. No, actually, Kalman is going to object to that. He's going to say, I don't think that's a good idea. I think we should wait.
Why?
Because we don't know what powers it has, and because we don't know what will happen, I think you should speak with your old friend. Hold on. Notes.
Ilvasar?
I think you should speak with Ilvasar before you put it on. I know. I know.
Whenever he objects to putting the crown on, which is fine, I'm with him. I'm gonna pick up the big red phone and ask the guy in my gym, like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but since you're a great craftsman, what happens if someone puts this crown on with your gems in it? Just to, I'm not trying to put the crown on.
He says,
he says
anyone who wears the crown can communicate freely with all of us, and we may share our power with them if they are worthy, and if we deem it so.
Then
he says also, when fitted with our stones, we can protect the wearer and the crown by nullifying all magic nearby.
And that's something you also get to control? Like you guys, either it's like you get our power and nullify magic and protection, or none of it, or is there any way people would be able to activate this? I'm not asking for how, just wonder. Everyone treats this crown like it's the
He says that
be-all, end-all.
when the crown is fitted with any 3 of the stones, with at least half of the stones, that it will have sufficient power flowing through it, that it, via its innate enchantments, will automatically nullify any magic in its immediate area, unless that magic is so powerful as to overwhelm it, and that this is a protective measure to prevent its destruction.
Got it. Okay. So that's one why you were so afraid you couldn't hear your siblings, but also that's very dangerous to have a item that nullifies all magic like around it.
Not as dangerous as magic.
I can't disagree, but right now, and I imagine they're hearing me mumbling to you, but they're having a discussion about the crown and putting it all back together and handing it in, and the threat of it being stolen again by the wrong hands. Is that not a concern that you and your siblings share? Is this treasure that is you and your siblings ending up in the wrong hands?
This crown was never supposed to leave the head of the ruler of the Ravenlands or the security of the Still Mist.
Oh, sure. I mean, and a well-made dagger by a blacksmith isn't supposed to end up in their back, but occasionally a thief breaks in.
That is right.
So, do you see where the problems kind of come with, you make a cancel all magic item and say this doesn't leave here and it gets out? Like, are you following the concerns now?
It is a powerful artifact in anyone's hands. It was never supposed to be taken, and the mistake was allowing Marigal into the Still Mist. He was invited,
Yeah, he has a way with people, unfortunately. Is there anybody who would still be friends with Marigal in the city that you think maybe we should be concerned about and keep an eye on? Because maybe anyone that was like extra chummy.
It's been hundreds of years. He'll explain this in his own way, but it's been hundreds of years. He knows very little about Marigal, and he has no idea where he is or if he still exists or what he's up to. It's been centuries, so he can't say.
Okay. Well, would you like to weigh in on this conversation before I hang up? You want me to tell them anything? Your opinion matters. Like, you're alive in here.
He would like to be. He will request that he be reunited in the crown with his siblings, so that they may, instead of speaking one by one, confer with whoever's wearing the crown. He wants all of them to be able to convene as a council rather than being separated from one another for fear of deception, separation, or anything bad happening to one of them without the others. They've been together for centuries, and he doesn't want to be separated from them.
That's a fair concern. All right, I'll let it be known, and I disconnect.
Cut back to
Mistwall is a beautiful city of magnificent elven architecture growing directly out of the forest. The trees here have been tended in such a way that they have grown into the shapes of buildings. Some low trees in the shape of kind of willows are just arching over in dome-like formations, and this forms the structure of the low buildings in the middle of town that look like shops and inns and things based on the layout and their general size and structure. Elves in white robes walk about with mostly sullen expressions. They turn and look at you, but they don't show much emotion. This place has an almost hypnotic serenity about it, And on the north end of town, as you draw closer to the border of the still mist itself, the buildings are of stone architecture, but they're of beautiful marble that is so smooth and curved that you have no idea how they could possibly have crafted it into the shapes that it's in. There's clearly some powerful magic at play in how this entire town was built and formed, and the place has a somber, serene, and sort of religious feel about it. There is soft music playing the entire time that you're here, and you're not sure where it's coming from because it seems of equal volume everywhere that you go. And on the north end of the town, there is a stone wall with large open archways, and at the archways just lies a white mist, a thick fog that you cannot see into for any real distance. And there are elven guards in full, shining silver plate mail with spears and swords and shields. Each gate into the still mist has at least 4 guards standing by it at all times, dressed in just the most beautiful equipment that you have seen, standing perfectly still like statues, highly disciplined, armor, beautiful, silver, edged in gold filigree, and yeah, the whole place has just a very mystifying feel about it. It is a strange and beautiful place, and the locals, every person that walks by looks at you. None of them show emotion. They're all walking about as though on their business and just quietly turn and look at you, soaking in the details of your appearance. Knowing that Velas is from here, you see nobody that looks like Velas. Everybody is dressed religiously. Everybody is acting serious and stern.
Velas,
Hey,
I want
Yeah.
you to take this as a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
You are the least boring elf I've ever met.
Thank you. That is a compliment. Elves kind of suck. Just like guiding them towards my place.
I mean,
I
my
just-
mom's
I
great.
just-
She's a lot of fun, but everyone
Yeah, Vergello's mom's really nice, but you
Yeah.
are the least boring. No offense for Vergello. Her
no.
stories were
I
great.
mean,
Yeah, the adjective they like to use to describe people like me is unruly. I like to call it alive. I'll turn around and keep walking.
I wanna turn to
Velas.
Grunrock,
Yeah.
and I just want to go, hey, Grunrock.
Yeah.
I bet this place can echo really well. Do you want to hear if it echoes well?
Maybe later.
Oh, okay.
Goblin's got
Okay,
some
sorry.
sense.
Something tells me we're about to meet some kind of important people, and they already are not happy that a goblin's here.
you're probably
Oh.
the first goblin ever here. Well, at least the first one alive.
Well, I understand what you were saying. I don't like the way they think, though. I think you're a great goblin.
I
I'll
appreciate
think on
that.
it.
For the record,
We can howl later.
We'll see if it echoes as we walk out.
Velas,
Yes.
Yes.
you can't recall ever having seen a goblin in Mistwall, and yet every person that walks by looks at him and then continues walking without showing emotion. It is...
Well, yeah, because they have slimy bottom-feeding Rust brothers in here all the time. I'm sure a goblin doesn't bother him at all.
Hey, Rust Brothers aren't here often.
No.
They are
Just turn your
outsiders
blood
thoroughly.
red.
Okay, so Velas has a shack on the outskirts of town that is possibly the least ornate looking building in the entire town, and it's basically a treehouse at the top of a rope ladder on the very edge of town, which has no walls or borders of any. The only wall in town is the massive stone wall guarding the way to the still mist. Mistwall itself, the town outside of that wall, doesn't have a wall around it. And Velas, on the very outskirts of town, has basically a treehouse that you have to climb up to with a rope ladder, and it is rustic, we'll say.
It's kind of shitty.
And the roof of it is made from tree limbs that have been magically grown into a particular domed shape to prevent water from creeping in. So the entire roof is made from the organic branches of the tree, which is pretty cool. That is cooler than any
No.
shack you have seen.
It was gifted to me when my dad chose to cease to exist. It was gifted to me.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, I think, but the place looks kind of cozy. It's better than the whole uptight artistic elevator music what we just got done walking through.
I'm assuming that it's kind of like dust laden and things are not in a great.
Oh yeah, I've not been here in like.
If Velas leads
9
you
or 10
inside,
months.
you have to climb up to it, and Dahlia goes, "Oh, it looks really, really nice." And she can't help dusting things while she's walking around. She's just idly sort of dusting off surfaces and looking at her hands going,
When I first come up, I'm going to just kind of look around the room.
This is the most at home I've felt since the shroud was raided.
You guys,
I like it.
You're pretty sure you're traveling with the biggest slob in Mistwall.
this is the most important thing. Everybody steal something and try and make sure Velas doesn't notice it. I say this where Velas too.
I'm just kind of like opening some windows.
I'm gonna try and go for something that's just like nearby on the ground, like whatever, to try and.
I'm gonna go ahead and you can grab whatever you want. I'm gonna let you know what's on the ground. A bunch of busted up dishes that over time I took from my parents' house and then shattered in anger. There's some torn bits of fabric. There is a bed. It's more of like a cot on the floor. There is exactly one bowl, one cup, one plate, one knife, one spoon. There is one of everything. And pretty much anything else that you see is busted up and shattered.
I'm not confident in my stealing abilities to take one of the functional dishes. So while she's opening up blinds, I'm gonna reach down and find the most whole fragment of a plate and like stab it in my bag and just kind of look at her. Every time she looks at me, just kind of like have a grin. Pretty sure she's obviously knows that I took something or did something, but I'm confident that I got you this time.
I like it.
Yeah, I was gifted to me, and I imagine
Dahlia's just going through this place, starting to clean it. She's
cleaning. She can't help herself.
I imagine Ilvasar will be here shortly.
Who is Kalman still with us?
I don't know.
I assume Calvin.
Calvin we didn't discuss what was happening here. We just went to your house. Did you want Kalman to go talk to Ilvasar? Did you want to go present yourself to the rulers of the town? Did you want to meet with Ilvasar in private? Did you want Kalman to talk to people on your behalf? Did you want to be the one to do the talking?
I think we came here to try to figure that out.
Yeah. What do you want to do?
If we're figuring things out, the gentleman in the gem that I possess requests that he is reunited in the crown with his siblings.
I would, so did Nayad. And I would like to put it on. I don't have any intentions of any evil, but if these were the first elves, I would kind of like to hear what they have to say.
Two things. One, don't care if you put the crown on, but I was explicitly told that it nullifies magic, like, around the user, as long as there's 3 stones in there at least. Mm-hmm. And not sure if your little stabby tattoo is going to be affected.
I'll summon the dagger stick my head out a window and just throw it into the ground at the foot of the treehouse.
It's sticking in the ground
be
at the
fine
base of
now.
the tree.
Should be
That-
fine now.
This is a
That
great
moment-
demonstration of trust from Velas. She's pretty sure this town has no crime. Because she's just going to toss an artifact out the window and get it later.
And Kalman's with us, correct?
I was asking you guys. We didn't really
I
discuss
imagine
it.
he's with us. I wouldn't want him to leave us.
I don't think
because he's
Kalman's
either-
interested in climbing up into Velas's house, but
Let's
unless
say
you specifically
Kalman
ask him
waits.
to.
I would imagine, because Kalman knows I want to put it on, he does not want me to put it on. He would probably go and get Ilvasar to come this way.
All right.
And so when I throw the dagger down, I'm gonna look at them.
You have a few minutes then while he goes and
Ilvasar will be
fetches somebody
here in a
from the
few
other side of
minutes.
town. To do
I don't
whatever
know
they
who
want.
Ilvasar is.
Ilvasar is a consistent pain in my ass.
Here's your crown.
And I'm gonna take out my Heartstone. And I'm gonna take out the Heartstone that I did not give back to Adam.
It is not mine.
And then I'm gonna look at Vergello. Do you trust me?
Yeah. I'm gonna hand it over to you before I completely let go of it. Make eye contact and say, like, you probably only have like a minute or two, and I can guarantee you, if they walk in here and see that crown on your head, they are probably gonna chop your head off.
No, they won't. It will be worse.
Did you put all the stones in it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you put all the stones in it. You place the crown on.
I'll stay crisscross.
Okay, give me 1 sec. I'll make sure I do this right.
Wow.
As Dahlia
He
cleans
looks
around me.
Wonderful.
As soon as she's in a trance, I'm going down the rope. And I'm gonna grab that dagger.
I'm going with
I'm not stealing it from you. I just
is that the thing you're stealing, Bill? God damn!
It feels
I'm
cold.
going.
You go down and
I'm
get
going
it.
down.
Okay, you go down and get it. It feels cold to the
I'm
touch.
not leaving her side.
Sounds good. It feels cold to the touch, and you feel hollow as soon as you touch it. There's something dark and evil about it. You wonder how Velas has felt this way for so long without ever complaining about it, because it gives
too
you
busy complaining about other stuff.
gives you a downright icky feeling while you're holding it.
I am going to sit down, cross-legged at the base of the ladder, and stick the scimitar in the ground in front of me, and just kind of and look, like just watch. I'm basically keeping guard over the rope ladder while she's up there with the crown on.
All right,
I'll be out there with Grunrock if Rogar is gonna watch her.
Velas, you put the crown on your head. For a moment, there's just a surge of power through you that's absolutely overwhelming, and you lose sight of reality. You feel like you're tumbling through an infinite void, and
There goes gravity.
then a moment later, it's like you have slammed into the ground, and you're sitting on the edge of your bed right where you put the crown on, and you're sitting in your room, and you feel completely normal again, and you hear the voices of all three of the elves in the crown. You hear a confident older female elf voice that sounds wise and thoughtful. You hear a young, beautiful, sort of sing-songy voice of another female elf, and a stern, confident, sophisticated-sounding male voice. And all three of them are having a conversation about the state of the world, the state of the forest and the rivers, and about Scrome, and about you. And then about 5 seconds after you place the crown on, they all go silent when they realize that you are here. And only the elderly female voice comes in and says, "Velas, you've joined us."
Camilda, I assume?
"Yes."
I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I just wanted to communicate. There's a lot to talk about, and probably only a few minutes to do so. Perhaps.
"What do you wish to share with us?"
Well, we are currently in Mistwall. we're in my home of sorts in Mistwall. We traveled here with another elf. Perhaps you know him. He seems to know all of you. His name is Kalman. I believe he talked.
Tell them that I do not
Gamilda.
like that man.
She says Kalman Rodenfell. He's the
Yes.
young Red Runner. Is that right?
He's the oldest Red Runner now, but yes. He came with us, and he is going to get my guardian of sorts, who would not probably like that I was wearing this crown right now.
I see. I always favored Kalman. He was so handsome, so vivacious, so playful.
That doesn't sound like Kalman at all. Time does change them all, so they say. So the state of the world, I mean, it could be worse, I guess. There's always problems going on, you know. I'm supposedly Zertorm is leading a place in Amber's Peak. I'm not convinced it's not Zygofer. But, you know, the forests are mostly intact, as are the streams. Marigal, well, the rumor was that Marigal stole Thanengis from the Still Mist and separated all of your Heartstones. Though, when we got Thanengis, the three of you were together. And this is about to sound terribly prideful and ambitious, but I'm kind of known for it. I want to get all of you back together. I mean, I found 3 of you. I believe I can. And I don't know what to do with you. If we leave Stan and Gis in the Still Mist, again, there's nothing to prevent Marigal or anyone else from stealing him, from stealing you all and taking Stan and Gis. If we take you with us, then what? Then we could be attacked, we could be jumped. If we separate you, well, that doesn't seem to be the consensus of any of you, and how you feel should be taken into consideration because you're alive. I would love literally any input.
You speak much of Viridia's lover, Marigal. What is he to you? He still lives? I thought he was not an elf.
He still
How
is.
does he live after all this time?
I mean...
Is he elderly?
He doesn't seem it. Can they read my mind, or just what I say to them?
Only what you say.
By the way. Only what I say.
Well,
Good.
You get a weird feeling that they're picking up on some of your emotions, but because occasionally they say things that are a little too on point, like in your previous conversation, when he said something about the darkness in your heart, but so you're not sure of the extent of it, but they seem to be carrying on a conversation with you like a normal person, where they're responding to the things you say.
Marigal and I, it's complicated.
Are you his lover?
I am not his lover. I am not his lover.
Josh, you as the DM get a strong sense of disgust from that.
You do not. You as the DM do not get a strong sense of disgust. You get a lot of mixed feelings and confusion.
We feared that Marigal might not be Elven Spring, but might be a powerful sorcerer or perhaps a demon.
Yeah, that's the rumor that goes around.
If he lives after all these years, that is unnatural.
Well, he could be an elf.
He is no elf. We knew that when we invited him into the Still Mist, but we did not know enough, and that was where we went wrong.
Well, it's complicated. He's complicated, but I haven't spent enough time with him to truly be able to give you the full realm of what I think.
You people on ground level, you see Ilvisar and Kalman walking up. Kalman's walking up with a very serious-looking elf with long, straight, dark hair, walking towards the base of the tree. You've got maybe a minute.
I'll
You ready for this to get interesting?
Yeah. I'll just say like, Kalman, what took you so long? Like, kind of project it, but mostly project it upwards.
Velas,
So
you
hopefully
hear
Ragnar will
conversation in the distance. You hear Ilvisar's voice. You can't tell what he's saying, but it's definitely him.
I don't trust Marigal, but he's also saved my life, and that's got to count for something somewhere. I don't know, but I want to know, and I want to find the other Heartstones. What do you want me to do? Because when they get up here, it's gonna be a lot of them talking and expecting me to listen. And I would like your input.
Seek them. Seek them out. Bring our siblings back to us. They will know more, and they will help us to right the wrongs in the world. If we are all placed in the right hands. Seek out Iridne, Viridia, and Algared. We've no idea of Iridne's whereabouts. Viridia, her heartstone is green, and we believe it was set into her sword Malagarn. And Algared, he was always fond of the humans. He wanted to guide them. He wanted to help them to thrive, and I believe he inserted himself among their kings. Find where their royal lines led. Find where his stone may have ended up, that he may report to us, that he may tell us what goes on with the humans, and how we might lead them on a righteous path and unite the lands. You must do this. Please.
I will, and I want to. Do you want to come with us? Or do you want me to keep you here?
We can only advise, and we can provide the powers that we possess, which at this point is protection from sorcery to the extent that we can provide it. But you must decide how best to go about this quest. You are the voice of your generation and of the future of these lands. You must find the path.
Oh, Kalman's not gonna like that.
Down on ground level, Kalman Rodenfell is here with a very stern-looking, pissy-looking elf with long, straight, dark hair who's saying, "Where is she? Where is she? Is she up there? Is she up? She's up in the hut."
Hello, by the way.
The missus is indisposed. My name's Grunrock.
Yes.
Yeah, who are you?
He looks you up and down and he says, "Vergello, Elven Spring or Frailer? Wait, don't tell me. Elven Spring."
I mean, it's a 50-50 shot, but good on you for, making it hurt. What was your name again?
I am Ilvisar. I am Velas's caretaker, and whatever trouble she's gotten herself into, I assure you, it could have been prevented if she'd listened to me.
She has been nothing but a delight on the road. She's actually a great company, and she does a really good job of keeping us out of trouble, surprisingly. Yeah, I know, it's hard to believe. When I first met her, I thought nothing but trouble, but you know what? Give her a warm bed and some food, and all of a sudden she's nothing but helpful. She helps me out, helps Grunrock out over there. Grunrock, come over, say hi.
I like where I'm sitting.
Yeah,
right.
he's
Hello.
got a thing with his ankle.
I understand, I understand. You're beyond the reach of reason, and I understand that perfectly. I'm going to go up this rope ladder now and go speak to her. Thank you
No, you're
for
not.
the introduction.
Why don't we just get her to come down here? Because that rope ladder's a little, I didn't want to climb up there. Hey, Raugar, you want to get Velas?
Velas, you hear
I'm
this.
using the ladies' room.
Oh, we are just she is putting on her fancy elf clothes so that she will fit in this fancy
Ilvisar.
city, and she's not ready yet. You cannot come up here. Oh, you do not want to see her without her elf clothes on.
You know what? I've honestly never wanted to see her without any clothes whatsoever. So yes, we'll just wait for her to come down. Veloz, just
Keeping
hurry up.
company with a wolfkin and a goblin in Mistwall. This is unbelievable, even for Veloz.
That's
Those
the
elves
welcome
pretty
I
weird, too.
expected.
I don't know what to do.
Hello, my name is Grunrock,
I don't
and you're not going up this ladder.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable.
Veloz, the distractions are
talk to you guys
causing
soon.
the elven voices to slowly fade away, and
I'll-
the eldest, as her voice is fading away, just says, "Follow your heart, do what you know is right, and do not give in to darkness." And she's slowly fading away.
I'm gonna take it off. But the darkness feels right. And then put it in my backpack, seal it, put it on my body, and then, all right, time to meet an asshole. And I'm gonna open it. How far of a jump down is like my rope ladder?
It's too far
Like,
to
if I
jump
just-
comfortably. You'll hurt yourself,
Oh,
but you
come
can
on.
slide
Oh,
down
come on.
quickly.
Gosh, you should say it's enough for only her to look cool jumping down.
You've done it enough
I've
times.
done it my whole life.
All right,
Like,
fine.
come on.
Do it looking cool. That's fine.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna open it and just jump. Just
Just all the way down the ladder.
and then just look over.
Veloz,
What do you want, Ilvasar?
you came to me. Tell me. Tell me, did your
not-
ventures outside of Mistwall provide such great fruit as to justify? Did you find what you were seeking? Do you feel fulfilled now that you've come crawling back home?
I have not come crawling back home. I don't
Yeah, we have a
want
donkey.
to be here. I hate it here. I hate it as much as I hated it my whole life.
He just shakes his head.
And I found a great deal, actually. And I'm gonna just stick my hand in the direction of Grunrock and Vergello because I don't know who has my dagger.
Oh. Here you go.
I'm gonna grab the phantom dagger and feel its coldness.
It's not.
Slowly.
It's not the dagger.
It's not the dagger?
It's the chunk of plate I stole from her.
I'm gonna grab it.
Oh shit. Sorry, my bad.
Grab the phantom dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I found a lot. And just, I'm gonna spin it on its point and just right into my hand.
I'm trying to come down the ladder, but wolves really aren't like good at this. So I imagine I'm like swinging around
Uh-huh.
a little bit. You know,
gonna-
like someone trying to do one of those circus rope climb, ladder climb.
I'm
games.
gonna stand up and try to hold it straight for him so he can get
The
down.
wolfkin is struggling. Grunrock helps you.
Kalman, what was the point of getting Ilvasar? Did you just not want to climb the rope ladder?
Are you going to show him what you found?
I showed him what I found. You didn't see the dagger?
Perhaps I misunderstood the purpose of this meeting.
I would love to have a conversation with you, Kalman. Ilvasar is an ever-present thorn in my side, though he prefers the term guardian.
I think you should show him what you found. Ilvasar's looking back and forth now, very intrigued. I think you should show him, or I'm going to tell him.
Kalman, please.
He needs to know,
Why?
because he can help you. Much as you are loath to admit it.
Fine, but he's got to climb the rope ladder. I'm turning around. I'm just like,
Oh
him
my
up
God.
to the wolf kid, and I'm just gonna be like,
The two of them look at each other, and Calvin goes, up
I'm
the
gonna
rope.
flip to the other side of the rope ladder, so I'm climbing up past Ralgar.
Ilvasar's gonna
Flip
go
back
up the
around.
rope ladder, and he's grunting and groaning and moaning and complaining the entire way. Oh, I can't believe it. It's a ramshackle. How many?
I'll be the last one. Actually, I'm gonna stay on the ground. I'm gonna stay on the ground.
How many years has she
I
had to
know.
put in a proper staircase, and still she uses bloody rundown
You're
ramshackle?
her guardian. You didn't put in a proper staircase?
It's not
please go up and
my
hit this man with the sauce,
responsibility.
Bergello.
Oh,
Please go up and hit this man with the
he-
sauce. I'll guard the
he-
ladder. I got this.
He put in a proper staircase. I burned it.
He makes his
prefer
way
the
to the
rope
top,
ladder.
followed by Kalman Rodenfeld. There's room for anybody up at the top that wants to be. If literally everybody goes up to the top, it'll be a little crowded, but everybody can fit. So,
I'm gonna be up there.
does anybody
I
want
imagine
to
Ralgar's
not be
still
up
gonna be
there?
struggling on the ladder.
I'm gonna stay at the
I
base
am
of
not
the ladder.
climbing the ladder again.
I'm gonna stay at the base of the ladder because the decision seems to be that the only people that need to know are up there.
Dahlia's up there.
Dahlia's gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna send Dahlia.
Dahlia's
downstairs.
gonna turn to Ralgar, and she's at the base, and she says, "I don't know why they didn't tell me about all this that was going on. What are these gemstones? What is this crown?"
I thought she was talking about the cleaning.
They cut me out like they don't trust me. Do you think they trust you, Ralgar? They told you more than they told me, and I've been traveling with them 4 times as long.
Dahlia, it's not that we don't trust you. I'm down there with her.
Oh.
It's
It's
not that we
only
don't
Elvin and
trust
Elvin
you.
Spring up there.
It's just that we didn't know what to do with it. And to be quite candid, we were all kind of afraid of it.
I still
We
feel
were
hurt.
trying to protect you.
You don't need to
I
protect me
underst-
from the truth, Grunralk. I
I
can fend for
understand your
myself, and I've earned the right to know what this party is up to. After what I've risked and what I've provided for them. Meanwhile,
I understand.
Oh, well, fair enough.
Well, the first thing that you should see is the first thing that I found. Well, actually, the first thing I found was the Rust Brothers' diary that talked to me about the Phantom Dagger. Ilvisar, you like to think yourself a learned man. Do you know about the Phantom Dagger?
I do. I know about the crafting of all 3 of the Phantom Daggers.
Well, I found the first one, and I'm just gonna...
His eyes go wide for a moment.
Ooh, Valas. She
Excellent.
found the Phantom Dagger.
A dark artifact in the hands of Velasthil. This is what we need. What else? Is this what
This
you
is
came
what
here
you
to tell me? That you found a corrupted dagger containing the evil spirit of a wicked assassin. This is supposed to bring
Yep.
me joy.
That's what I came to tell you, right?
Party.
Right, Kalman? This is all we came to tell him about,
This
right?
is not what they came to tell you about, Ilvisar. Listen and be patient.
I'm gonna stick my head out the window. Grunrock! On your 6! Just dagger on the ground. So I'm just gonna walk by and close all of the windows.
Meanwhile, I'm getting chewed out by
By
Dahlia.
Dahlia. What we found was the most prized thing in all the Ravenlands. Ilvisar, would you care to guess what the most prized thing in all the Ravenlands is?
Do enlighten me.
No. You guess. What do you think that I could have found?
Oh, it must be money. Go ahead, tell me it's money.
Dude, you're making yourself look like a really big idiot right
And
now.
I'm gonna pull out the Stan and Gis. I found Stan and Gis with 3 Heartstones.
He looks at Kalman.
Arrogant
Kalman
asshole.
nods at him and blinks. And he looks back at you. Incredible. It cannot be.
And yet it is.
Where? How?
And yet it is. I found it in the Valley of the Dead. In the Vale of the Dead. Whatever you wish to call it. That is where I found it. With Scrome, of all people. A giant. But you are so pretentious that I'm sure you wouldn't have given him any mind. No one but an elf gets your attention. An elf or an int. You could learn a thing or two from me, Ilvisar.
Velas, you have done good work this day. You have brought back a valuable thing that has been lost for centuries. I commend you. But please understand, your animosity towards me. It is unfounded. I only want to help you.
I don't believe you.
Can I insight that?
Yeah.
I'm not great at it, but
I would also like to insight it, if I may.
Sure.
The dogs believe him.
Nope, I don't know. I don't care. I don't trust him regardless. I just was curious if I knew.
It's fine.
He's looking at him. I don't believe you. You tried to keep me here.
I had good reason.
That you never care to share. Stay here. Veloz, be still. Veloz, listen. Veloz, stop climbing the tree. Veloz, stop running. Just walk. Be still. Be quiet. Be seen. Not heard.
Kalman says, tell her, Ilvasar. And he says, she is not ready. And he says, tell her she is ready. And Ilvasar...
What is there to tell me? After 100 years in this hell, what is there that I don't know?
Tell her the tale of Viridia. Ilvasar goes, she brought back the crown. She deserves to know. Chat says Geico can save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Do we have a bot in the chat?
No, it's Killian, I bet.
Oh.
Ilvasar says, fine, Veloz. Know that I only want what is best for you. I'm going to tell you the tale of Viridia, that it may enlighten you and set you on what is hopefully the best path for you. Because I believe you are old enough and wise enough to hear it. Do you understand? Are you prepared?
Like, for the record, to show that you're only telling me because Kalman's making you. But yes.
Yes. Yes.
Well prepared.
For the record, to show that I am only telling you because Kalman is making me. And Kalman looks at him and goes,
to be fair, that's the only reason you're hearing about Stenengist. So, fair's fair. At least Kalman's equal. And I'm just going to sit on the bed.
all right. This is going to take a minute.
He can stand, he can do whatever he wants.
This is going to take a minute. Buckle up, everybody. In times of old, before the divide, long before the arrival of men, the Ravenlands were untamed and primal. The Red Wanderer passed through the sky, and from him fell the greatest of all stones, called the Heart of the Sky. On striking the ground, it shattered, and from it rose 6 siblings, wise and beautiful, the first elves. It was these who seeded the first forests, set the rivers on their course, and asked the dwarves, upon whose land they had fallen, to forge Stenengist, the hanging stones, where they could rest once their divine work of preparing the lands for life was completed. Viridia was one of these siblings, and her story is the darkest of the 6. She was a shield maiden and a mighty warrior. She learned of a giant which ravaged the land, whose name was Scrame, and set out to slay him with her sword Malagarn. Upon finding the giant, she learned that it was inhabited by 2 spirits, which alternated sleeping, one which embodied the giant's yellow eye, a gentle creature called Scrome, and the wicked, destructive brother named Scrame, who inhabited its green eye. She found the giant when Scrome was awake. He was remorseful at what his other half had done while he was sleeping, and begged for death. He bared his throat for Viridia to cut, but she felt pity and showed mercy on the giant, and this was her downfall. Soon Scrame awoke, and after a great battle he devoured Viridia. When Scrome learned what had happened, he was distraught beyond words, and searched through his own excrement for weeks in hopes of finding Viridia's heartstone, to no avail. Then Gemelda, Nebulos, and Eridne, 3 of the first siblings, who fell from the Red Wanderer, took up arms and sought out the giant to retrieve the heartstone of their fallen sister, and once again it was Scrome who was awake. He begged for death, and asked to be cut open and searched for the heart ruby of its friend, Viridia, who it had devoured in its sleep. Gamelda, the eldest and wisest of the siblings, pried open the sleeping eye of Scrame in the hopes of petitioning it for information, and there, like a glimmer of lust, was Viridia's heartstone, lodged inside the evil green eye of Scrame the giant. The stone turned forever green by its dark magic. After cutting the stone loose, the evil eye awoke and escaped, rolling away of its own volition, and it's said that it still roams the land, spreading ruin and discord wherever its gaze may fall, wounded and vengeful. Soon Viridia was brought back to the Still Mist, where she was given a new body, but she was forever changed. Having no more pity, or patience, or mercy, she refused to retire to the crown with all of her siblings, and took up her sword Malagarn with a new calling: to cull the world of that which was old and had been nurtured too long. She brought death, dismemberment, and destruction wherever she went, animated with dark purpose by her heartstone, which was now called, by all those who knew the tale, Gall Eye. Soon Gamelda, her elder sister, tired of this senseless killing, and invited Viridia to the Still Mist to parley. Suspicious, Viridia agreed to come only on one condition. Is Ralgar raising his hand? Okay. Suspicious, Viridia agreed to come to the Still Mist only on one condition: that her new lover, Marigal, who was not an elf and therefore trustworthy, be brought along with her as a bodyguard and accomplice. Gamelda agreed to the request, and when the two lovers arrived, Viridia's siblings betrayed her and cut the stone from her chest to place it in the crown where she could do no further harm. However, her love Marigal was a crafty trickster and a skilled sorcerer, and amid the struggle he stole the crown, the stones, and the sword Malagarn, and escaped the Still Mist. Unable to restore Viridia's body, Marigal set her heartstone into the sword Malagarn for safekeeping. Eventually, the Red Runners caught up to Marigal, and when they surrounded him, he defiantly whisked away the crown, the stones, and the sword to the far corners of the Ravenlands, using a spell that not even he could track. And that was the last any of them were seen. That was nearly 1,000 years ago.
Great history lesson. What does that have to do with me and why I couldn't leave you?
Velas, you are Viridia's descendant. She is your grandmother. Your mother was her daughter. I am sorry that you are angry that your father disappeared when you were so young. I am sorry that you are angry that your mother retired to become a guardian of the forest. But the truth is that that's not what happened. Your mother was one of the fairest and wisest of all the elves, and one of the finest that I ever knew. But as she aged, it became increasingly clear that she had inherited some of the corruption that was in Viridia's heart. And slowly but surely, she turned to darkness. She became wrathful, selfish, power-hungry, lustful, and vengeful. And she was carrying out her dark will upon all those around her to the point that even she recognized that she was not herself. And she asked your father to take her into the Still Mist and destroy her heartstone. And he did.
That's not true. That's not even allowed.
He did. and overcome with grief and unwilling to live for eternity in the grief, he asked that his heartstone be destroyed as well.
No, she died in the blood mist.
Your mother does not guard the forest, and your father is not missing. Both of them are gone forever. I'm sorry, but that is the truth.
Then why did you keep me here?
Because you likely carry the same darkness in your heart that your mother did, and we don't know yet if it is going to be enough to overtake you. But we hope that you will be as wise as her and recognize the danger that you carry with you.
And you thought what? That you would get to decide?
No. That's why I let you go. You were so young. You were just a small girl when all of this happened, and you had no way to understand. I just tried my best to set you on a peaceful path of wisdom and knowledge, but your entire life you have sought to leave. You have sought trouble. You have caused quarrels with those around you. You have been...
I sought life. You kept me in a cage, and you lied to me about it on top of all of that.
I let you live. I let you choose your own path, but you must know the danger that exists inside of you and what you could become. Your mother recognized it. I hope you have the strength to know your own heart as she knew hers. And I am sorry about all of this.
No, you're not.
I am.
Get out. Get out. I need time to think. Get out. Everybody get out.
Velas.
Get out.
He turns and he looks at Kalman, and they look at each other, and he slowly walks to the ladder and climbs his way down.
Everybody out. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk over to like my one view plate, and I'm just gonna slam it on the ground. Anything that's not broken is just getting broken now.
Ilvisar sets foot on the ground. He looks at Ralgar, looks at Grunralk, tips his head, and slowly walks off towards the middle of town. You can hear things being slammed upstairs. Kalman stays behind. He's just sitting in the corner looking very serious, but he doesn't say anything.
I also didn't leave.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that you're dodging plates, because I'm throwing them without aim.
You people on the ground hear a ruckus from up above.
Dollhead, maybe you should go up there and see if she needs help.
I'm a little scared of Velas, and she seems upset. I'm going to wait down here until things blow over.
You're still upstairs.
Yes, I think I will do that too.
It's just Vergello, Velas, and Kalman upstairs.
Still up there.
We need to leave. Coming here was a mistake.
What of the crown, says Kalman. You understand now why I was hesitant to let you wear it. It's nothing personal. But your family line...
Well...
Perhaps it would be best to hand it to Vergello now, so that he can keep it safe.
I'm happy to hold on to it for you, Velas. You know that.
Your friend. You trust him. Just hand it over. You can always have it back.
Take off my backpack and hand it to Vergello. And then I'm going to turn and look at Kalman. Is he like... I'm going to get as close to him as I can, and I'm going to grab him by his like shirt vest and slam him into the wall.
He's not fighting back.
You knew. You've known this whole time who I am. I bet I look like quite a fool asking about my own grandmother. You just knew?
I have.
I told you that I knew about Miracle. For Christ's sake, is that my father?
I don't know. I don't know who your father is.
I bet you just had quite a laugh. after we left, all at my expense.
No. We did not.
I have darkness inside of me, and you didn't tell me.
Maybe.
I attached myself to a phantom dagger. I feel its cold darkness and its draw to power. I feel it all the time.
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is what happened to your mother, and that you need to be careful. Take some time. Come to terms. Decide how to proceed. But the crown is powerful, and it may determine the fate of these lands. These lands, which I'll remind you, have been overrun with evil magic, demonic creatures, discord, slaughter, and war for centuries. This crown could bring peace to all of it. Choose your path carefully and know your history. And be careful, because no one knows what you're capable of, not even you. You might be able to turn the course of history. You might be able to turn the course of your bloodline. I don't know. Only you know.
I hate you. I hate you, and I hate Ilvasar, and I hate every one of you who kept this from me.
I'm sorry. And he turns and walks to the ladder. And climbs down.
McCalla, what the fuck are we supposed to do? McCalla, please tell me what to do.
Kalman Rodenfell lands on the ground and walks past Ralgar and Grunralk without turning a glance towards them.
Farewell, Kalman.
Yeah, you walk
Be
away,
safe.
you stinky man.
Aye. Be safe.
There's
He
3 other
nods.
slots on this crown if we wanted to fill it up. I can't really speak for your past, but be honest, like everyone's got some darkness inside them. Hell, I threw a tantrum when the love of my life just left for a while.
Kalman is going to walk over to Ralgar, Dahlia, and Grunralk and call the 3 of you over.
I'll get up and walk to him.
He says, I'm going to tell it to the 3 of you straight. The elders of this town are going to know about this crown in a few minutes. They are not going to let it leave their sight under any circumstance. If it's handed over willingly, they will protect it, and they will reward you handsomely for its delivery. I personally will petition for them to compensate you handsomely, see that it is protected, brought into the still mist, and that you and your party are paid and supplied. But if you don't want to do that, I suggest leaving. I have searched for this crown for hundreds of years, and I believe it would be safe here. I believe they would do the right thing with it, and I would believe that they would reward you handsomely, but if you try to leave with it and they catch you, that is how you lose. Because then you will get no reward and no crown. You should tell your friends to act quickly and make up their minds. And I will stand by your decision. And look after Velas. She's had a hard day. And he turns and just calmly walks towards the village square.
I'll watch him go until he's
out of sight.
I'll turn and look at Ralgar and Dahlia.
Dahlia's going, what happened? What is
Well,
this thing?
First of all, I'm sorry. It was not fair of us not to tell you what kind of danger you were in.
I appreciate that.
We owe that to you, and I am truly sorry. To answer your question, it's a magic crown that contains the original heart stones of the first 6 elves. And it may or may not be capable of saving or destroying the world.
She blinks a few times and processes that. Relgar, what are you doing?
I am running towards the ladder.
Okay.
We have 3 of the 6 stones.
Relgar
And
comes
I think
scrabbling up the ladder. Go ahead, Grenrok. Sorry.
we have 3 of the 6 stones, and I think we're about to steal the crown and find the other 3. You don't have to come. I understand your trust has been breached, but we do want you with us, and we are sorry.
And I'll start walking towards the ladder.
Okay.
And let her think about it.
Relgar comes scrabbling up the ladder to the top. Velas and Vergello, you're probably still staring at each other, debating what to do, and Relgar bursts into the room and says,
You should really get some stairs. I do not like climbing that ladder. I almost fell 3 times getting up that ladder. It is made of rope and wood. And what?
What?
Did you?
Oh, yes. I came up here because I have to tell you that we need to go. That stinky man told us that the mean people, we have minutes, and they're going to find us, and they're going to take that crown from us. But he said he will not stop us if we go, but we have to go now.
You know what, Velas? If Ralgar says he's stinky, that says it for me. Let's take this crown and get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah. Fuck it. They wanted to keep me here anyway. Now I have my backpack. Put it on. One last look at the house I've now rightfully fucked up one more time. Leave it like you found it.
I take a spoon and I throw it on the ground. Let's go.
Jump to the bottom of the stair. Jump to the ground.
Velas
When
down.
I get to the base of the stairs, I'll pull the dagger that she threw out of the ground and hold it up to her.
Thank you.
All right, gang, we need to get out fast and now.
This way.
At least we're already on the outskirts. Which one of you has the crown?
I do.
Let's go.
Let's go.
You leave Mistwall unchallenged by anyone. Go marching out into the forest. You never see or hear any pursuers.
Before we fully walk away from the tree, I want to turn and look back at Dahlia and just kind of like give her a second if she's coming or not.
She's coming. And she's walking closer to Grunrock than anybody else in the party.
Ooh, I actually would like to do one thing before I jump down. If I can run back time a little bit, I'm gonna grab some piece of canvas and something to write with.
Sure.
And I'm just gonna put C, comma. I didn't mean it. V. And like just leave it on the bed in hopes that Kalman will see it eventually.
Okay.
And then I'll dramatically jump down.
Okay. The 4 of you depart town, the 5 of you, with your donkey. You leave Mistwall to the south, and you are out in the quiet forest, off the beaten path, in a matter of minutes. And you left decisively enough that no one you can see is trying to stop you or pursue you as of yet. And yeah.
Everyone, that was a lot of excitement. And I am feeling sleepy. We have been marching through the nights. Are we going to stop, or do we need to get further away before we make a camp?
We need to get further away.
We definitely should get further away.
I think we need to push.
More square.
I think we need to push a little to the south into the deeper woods.
And I'll point towards where it starts to get thick.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we can truly get away from them, but we might be able to lose them in the scramble in there.
Yeah.
We could also take cover in that old tower we found, at least to camp for the night.
Back to Red Hook Redoubt.
It should
And
be,
I'll just smile at Vergello.
should be a straight shot south. We can camp there.
We do know where it is. I'm gonna look at Grunrock and Dahlia and Ralgar. There's a lot to know. And you're gonna get to know it all. But we need to make camp first. Just keep marching.
One sec. Sending a secret message to somebody.
Uh-oh.
Is it me?
Are we going through new hexes or old hexes here? What do we
We're gonna
think?
go through one new hex and then one old hex for us, but it'll be a new hex for you. Aimee, that was awesome.
Thanks. Josh is a crafty bastard.
Oh, out of character, but Vergella will tell you this at some point. The next time you put the crown on, ask about the instructions for the fishing net.
I hope that you say that to me as we're walking.
I mean, like at some point on the trip, I will absolutely bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll be like, so did old buddy say anything about the fishing net?
He did not.
I messaged one of you. If you have not received the message, you are not the person. But don't say if you received the message.
I received a message. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Fishing net instructions.
Okay, so let's do travel. So it is now daytime, and you have 3 hikers. 1 lead the way, 1 sleep. Let's see if there's a random encounter.
No, there's Dahlia. Dahlia's hiking, not sleeping, and
That's
Gronrock
fine.
is keeping watch.
Okay. Noted. Moving back to the world map. I really wish the world map's centered in the right place every time, so you wouldn't all have to scroll over.
You and me both.
Okay, so you set out from Mistwell. What direction? South?
South.
Due south into New Hex?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it is a little bit.
I
south.
think our game plan is to head
Yeah.
towards Red Hook.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. So you're traveling through a section of Dankwood that you've not been through before. Let me do the reveal. We'll try to wrap in the next few minutes. So let me see if anything interesting happens here passing through this hex. We are in deep forest now.
Slow going. Back to this slog. Remember when it took us a session to move like 3 hexes?
Let's get a
Yes,
lead
but
the
we
way
also-
roll from whoever's leading. Is that Ralgar?
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Indeed.
Feels like the deep woods again, guys.
All right, we're in the deep woods. We immediately get a complication with navigation, so let's see what that is.
You end up back in Mistwall.
Oh God!
Lead the
Took a
way.
wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Lead the
Took
way.
the wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Nobody takes a wrong turn at Albuquerque. All right.
We literally got lost in Albuquerque.
Yeah, technically. All right. Oh, I rolled lost. You realize that you've walked in a circle. You're lost and won't make any progress on the map during this quarter day. Your Pathfinder must also roll survival successfully to find her way out of the hexagon. 1 roll may be made per quarter day. So you have burned a quarter day being lost in the woods, and you will be lost until a successful survival roll is made to get out. But before any of that happens, a quarter day gets burned, putting it at evening. It is now dark, and you have not advanced a hex. Everybody can place yourselves where you want to be. It is evening, so it's dark. Soon we're going to be in summertime where you get 2 quarter days or 3 quarter days of light a day instead of 2, which is going to be awesome.
Gronrock, you need to sleep.
We're
We're not making camp.
I thought we
traveling.
were pushing. I thought we were lost. We're moving.
It's up to
Yeah,
you
we
what you
gotta
want to
keep
do in the
going.
evening time. It's currently dark.
I mean,
so
we can strike camp. but-
lead the way and keep watch.
We
Are
should-
taking
We
penalties.
should keep going. We're too close to Mistwall.
I have failed us as a navigator, and I do not know where I am. I can find a way out, but it might take me a while. I will try one more time, and I will come back if I do not find a route for us.
All right, we're going to press on through the evening even though it's dark. Is that the plan?
Yep.
All right, let's do
Yes.
it.
I got keep watch.
Lead the way then, Ralgar. That gets you out of your current hex. Now roll again for your lead the way roll to see if there's a mishap going into the next hex.
There's a mishap going into the next.
There's
hex.
a mishap going into the next hex. And that mishap is downpour. A massive rainfall catches you unawares, and you have trouble finding shelter while traveling. You must roll for the effects of cold, because everybody is soaked to the bone. You must also seek shelter until the storm is past, and don't make any progress on the map during this quarter day.
Oh my word.
Amazing. You are having a bad time traveling through the Dankwood. One sec. Everybody roll
Again.
for the effects of cold witches as follows. Everybody roll endurance.
Are
All
we
right. So
allowed
if
to
I'm
roll?
fatigued, is that a affect endurance?
Yeah. Let me look that up. One sec.
I figured it would be.
Anybody who fails the endurance roll immediately takes a point of damage to both strength and wits, and is cold until further notice.
Are we allowed to push these rolls?
No. And fatigue.
It just feels like it would affect endurance.
It probably does. Yeah, one sec.
I mean, after this, we're probably gonna have. Well, we have to make shelter.
Yeah.
Being sleepy means you cannot recover wits until you sleep. You suffer 1 point of damage to your wits each day. As soon as you have slept for at least a quarter day, you are no longer sleepy and can recover wit. Okay, Ralgar, you have 1 damage to your wits, and that's the only effect. It does not affect your endurance, so you can roll that one normally.
You mean me?
Yeah, or Grunrock,
Okay.
yeah. Ralgar and Vergello failed their endurance rolls, so you two are cold. Grunrock succeeds on his endurance roll, but has a point of damage to his agility. Now it is nighttime. It is pitch black. It is the middle of the night, and you have made 0 progress because of heavy rain and getting lost.
Yeah, we have.
So
to
we
make
have to
shelter.
we had to shelter during that rain, right?
You're
Yeah, it
trying
said
to.
you had
For
to
for
shelter.
role playing sake, right?
Yeah.
During that time, I want to approach Velas while we are sheltering, just kind of one-on-one, and I want to say, hey, Velas, I know it seems like you are feeling very sad right now, and I have to confess something to you, and I hope it will not make you too mad at me.
I feel very empty right now. So now's a good time for confessions.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe this will be okay. Uh, I have not actually been lost this past day. I am scared to go to where we say we are going. I know Red Hook, Red Out, and I do not have happy memories from there, and I do not want to go back to there. But I do not want to tell the others that because I do not want them to think that I am scared.
Man, and I thought I was hollow to this new feeling of anger.
She pissed. This is gonna kill everybody, and the campaign's gonna be over.
Bill. Sorry, Bill.
Don't pull a stitch, bro.
Don't pull a stitch, Bill. Sorry, Adam. 1 second.
Oh god. Oh, sorry.
You're good. Well, I really, really, really wish that you had said that. Because perhaps you could have told us about what bothered you at the Red Hook Redoubt. Was it the giant evil plant thing?
No, I do not remember or know much of it because I spent a lot of time there, but I did not get to see much of it. Because,
Why?
well, you see, it is a prison camp, and there was times that I spent there where I was not free. And I do not want to return to that place.
Who was keeping you prisoner, Algar?
I do not know who they were.
I understand why you would not want to go back to that place. I do not
But I can't.
appreciate
but I will if we have to. I just do not want to go there.
I understand. It has been a very long, very shitty day for me personally. So walking around in the rain, in the forest, has not been great for me. Taking it surprisingly well. I don't feel very cold. But the Rust brothers are not in Red Hook Redoubt anymore. There was one who's left. And he was killed by a plant woman who we killed. They are dead.
Wait, so you are telling me that the Rust brothers are gone from there?
The Rust brothers are gone. Do you think I would go somewhere where the Rust brothers were?
Oh, no, I do not know. But, okay, we can go there. Okay. But I do not want to go into the places where they used to keep me. So maybe we could not go in the prison cells.
I hadn't even considered it.
Oh, okay. I can lead us there then. I know the way.
I would love for you to lead us there.
We're going to wrap the session there. Ralgar and Vergello, please make a note for next session that you begin the session cold, which may or may not matter, but we'll have to make a roll at some point for you to recover from it, or it might cause further effects. So make sure that...
Checkbox on the character sheet there, Adam, if you hadn't seen it.
Oh, yeah. I'm cold, and I'm missing a strength, and I'm missing a wits.
Same.
Yeah, and we're going to...
Is sleepy the same as exhausted? Should I just check sleepy?
Yeah, sleepy is the one. It's called sleepy. And I'm going to pull up the experience table. And we're going to give out experience, and that will be where we wrap for the night. So, experience, here we go. Everybody keep count. Get ready. Did you participate in the game session? If so, you gain an experience point. Boom. Everybody gets it. Did you travel through at least one hex on the game map that you had not visited before? Boom. Everybody gets another one. Did you discover a new adventure site? So actually, it says discover, not explore. And the town that you found, Wellspring, is an adventure site. So everybody gets an experience.
Hey!
Yeah.
You didn't do the thing, but you found the adventure site, and you know that there's stuff there that could be explored later. So there's that. Did you defeat one or more monsters? No. Ilvisar does not count. Did you find a treasure worth a gold or more? No. Did you build a function on your stronghold? No. Did you activate your pride? Nobody did. Did you suffer from your dark secret? No. No. I'm gonna go no on everybody, although there's one that's borderline. But I'm not gonna count it. It's close.
Give it to him.
Give it to him.
Yes.
Someone should
Yes.
have
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
It goes. Yeah, one goes to Ralgar. I'm giving it to you. You roleplayed it. It led to a complicated conversation, and yeah, it's fine. I'm giving one to Ralgar, nobody else. Did you risk your life for another player character? I don't think anybody did this time. Chat says Ralgar +1. Yeah, Ralgar. And did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind? Now, I'm gonna stretch this one a little bit. Nobody did an extraordinary action this session. However, Aimee did fantastic role playing and gets an experience point for that. I'm counting that as an extraordinary action.
That was going to be my nomination.
Yeah.
So.
I'm giving one to Aimee and nobody else. So she gets a bonus, and that will conclude the session. So thank you for watching. Please follow us on Twitch. We need 50 followers so that we can post our schedule properly without their weird constraints.
I'll stop screaming at the start of the sessions if you follow.
He won't, but it's fine. I'm going to post... this session will be posted on YouTube like all the others. Check us out at the Wanderers Guild on YouTube. This is the 15th session of our campaign. This and all the others are posted on YouTube with some light editing. And apologies for the technical difficulties at the start of the session. I got a new microphone and it wasn't working with my recording software, but I caught it a couple of minutes in. So sorry that the start of this stream was janky. That'll be edited out on the YouTube video. So like, subscribe, follow us. Thanks again to Sirenscape for our background audio. And everybody have a lovely night. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
We'll play again
Bye.
2 weeks from tonight, which will be on... does anybody have any issues with playing on May 17th?
Nope.
Going once, going twice? All right.
If we get to 300 followers by then, I will commission a limited line of Ralgar plushies.
Oh my god.
I want one of
Please.
those.
Please. So
I'll buy
many
one,
people
please.
follow. I want a Ralgar plushie.
Yeah,
Share it to
I
your
don't even
friends.
care about the followers. I just want the plushie.
Have a
And
good night,
we'll-
everybody.
we will gift 2 away to random subscribers.
They promised it, so they're
Right.
dealing with it. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.